can't be any clearer than that. That's what's most important. The pub, that's what's most important. Beers. We had a case last week. As best we can tell, the dinner party started with one case. By the end of the dinner party, almost everybody at the dinner party had a case of beers. People simply take this seriously, rapidly. Get on the beers. That's your civic duty. That's what's most important, and that's what must be done. Beers. Get on the beers. Beers. Get on the beers. Beers.
No.
Beers.
China.
Beers. Get on the beers. Take this seriously. Get on the beers. Rapidly. Get on the beers. That's your civic duty. Beers. Get on the beers. That's what's most important. Beers. That's what's most important. Beers. That's what's most important. Beers. And that's what must be done. Beers.
I can honestly say I never had a beer in my life. Okay?
As best we can tell, the pub is shut. That's not appropriate. I can't be any clearer than that. That's what's most important. The pub, that's what's most important. Beers. We had a case last week. As best we can tell, the dinner party started with one case. By the end of the dinner party, almost everybody at the dinner party had a case of beers. People simply take this seriously, rapidly. Get on the beers. That's your civic duty. That's what's most important, and that's what must be done. Beers.
Yeah! He's fucking going, everybody! We're fucking live.
Hell yeah, dude.
You got your fuck.
I got beers.
You!
Oh shit, I wish I could do that. I just got these shitty old pop tops.
I'll fucking show you how to open a beer with your arm. By the end of this live, you'll be the master of it.
I gotta get a bottle then.
You drink Bud Light. What are you drinking? Or Budweiser? Is that the drop?
Budweisies.
Fuck yeah. I had some Budweiser on the 4th of July. I was like, oh, I've got to go try this American beer.
Yeah.
It's good shit, I reckon, eh?
Wait, this last July 4th?
Yeah.
That's the first time you tried Budweiser?
I'm pretty sure it was the first time I tried it, eh?
Damn.
Maybe when I went on holiday to America, I would have drank it. But I wasn't like... I didn't realize the kind of... It's the fucking king of beers, right? It's just the standard, everyday working class.
It doesn't mean it's the king of beers because it's great. It just means it's just so everywhere. You know?
Everyone loves it.
It's like McDonald's is the king of like fast food, but that doesn't mean it's like the best. It's just like everywhere.
Yeah. Fucking oath. That's good shit.
I like Foster's. Foster's is good.
Yeah, we don't really drink Foster's, eh? It's kind of like a myth. But I guess Foster's beer is like the same as fucking... It's that same standard flavor. You know, it's just... It's normal working class beer, you know?
Right.
It's the good shit.
That's what it is. Working class, exactly. And so what do you got there?
I got fucking 4X Dry. It's like locally brewed.
That's cool.
They sold out to Japan, actually.
Oh, no.
Your fucking grandfather probably owns it.
Takamosho Hakakiki Foster's. XXX.
Yeah. So what? You've got your fucking Japanese or some shit or what?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't really...
You're American.
Dude, I know black kids that like Naruto that know more about Japan than I do. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. I think like all their little goofy toys are stupid and their fucking cartoons are gay and like that. Like I don't mind cartoons. Even at this age, I'll watch Hey Arnold, but like their animation for me, it just like turns me off. It's like too light colored and like the lines are all thin and weak and shitty.
What about fucking Dragon Ball Z? But
did
you follow that?
I did. Because, and look at the lines, like thick lines, like kind of Western animation.
Yeah, that was fucking the best, man. I grew up on that shit. My first boss, first job out of school, fucking, my boss was a Solomon Islander, right? So they're black as the ace of spades. Like he's as black as fuck, right? But his mum's fucking black Solomon Islander. His dad is Japanese, and it's like his ancestors fought in World War II Japan, and they were like coming down to invade Australia.
Oh.
And his fucking great granddad or something just was like, I'm staying. His granddad stayed in Solomon Islands and just married a local woman.
What?
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
Like Jimmy's like half Solomon Islander, half Japanese. And
that's
he's
like a
like,
really cool story.
He's a mad cunt too. Like we would work fucking 70 hours a week. We were just like workaholics, eh? First job out of school, and I was just like, he was just a savage bloke, like good, hard working, loved to laugh.
Hell yeah!
And he had like
Japanese people have like a good sense of humor. I gotta say.
Yeah, so he's like a black Japanese guy, like as black as fucking, like as black as Jesse Lee Peterson. You know what I mean? And but like Japanese, and fucking, he used to love like anime and all this weird Japanese food and shit. So it was like real fucking funny, eh?
Well, the food. No, I get down with the food, but seeing like a black Asian guy. So he had the eyes, right? He's got the eyes.
Yeah, he kind of had the eyes, but he was like black as fuck.
Bro, it's a good mix. I think Japanese mixes together pretty well with stuff because like they tan well. Like I tan well. My dad tans well. They're kind of like, they almost look like, to me, the Hispanics of the Asian community. Like Koreans are really white and like almost like Russian looking, but Japanese people are like kind of like on the browner side of shit. So they mix well with other stuff. I remember I visited my dad in California and for the first time, and he had this friend that was Vietnamese, and she had a black husband, and their kids were like just like awesome. Like I was I kind of want to make those.
Like made a Goku, like you like make Goku in real life.
I want to make it go. That's the thing I have to worry about. Isn't that weird? Like not like being like I don't feel Asian, but you know,
what does it fucking matter? You're a Western chauvinist, you know.
That's correct, but I got to think about breeding because I'm like, you know, if I met like my ex-girlfriend was a lot of them were Irish Italian.
Oh,
and
yeah.
She had redhead genes in her family, and I just like would have horror images of like what if
it would be like Super Saiyan 3 or some shit.
Yeah, with the red. Know. Yeah, exactly.
You'd be right. Yeah, so fucking New York City, man. Is it in shithole lockdown or what?
Yeah, it's been going from like we're gonna open shit up to we're gonna close it back down to like, but like I was saying before,
someone's saying you look handsome.
Oh, thanks, Mitch.
There you go.
Do I know Mitch?
Hey, Dusty. I don't know, Mitch. Oh, Mitch Connor. I don't know. Hey, mate, how's it fucking going?
So what are we on right now? D-Live?
We're on streaming through YouTube and D-Live. Yo, D-Live, how's fucking going? I've been fucking... Yo, I'll share the fucking link out.
Hell yeah. What, you got a Twitter?
I don't do Twitter. Fuck Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter definitely.
Share it on Parler.
Hell yeah. All right,
share it from me fucking... You sub to my YouTube channel or what?
I should.
Anyway, so New York City, was it as bad as you fucking thought? Was it really like tent fucking hospitals and shit or what?
As far as COVID goes, like when I was first scared about it, I was like, I'm definitely gonna get it, and I was like pretty scared.
I'm definitely gonna get it.
Oh yeah,
holy fuck!
And I don't care about getting it personally, but then, you know, I would give it to Gavin, and then he would give it to his family. That's terrible. Like if I'm responsible for myself, I don't care if my leg falls off. Basically, I'll be all right. But then my grandparents, I visit them, so I just don't want to get anybody else sick. You know, that would feel real shitty. It's like giving.
I reckon at the start, I felt like the weird. I was like, ugh, and I was like drinking heaps and just binge drinking. I'm like, do I feel fucked because I'm sick, or am I just hungover as fuck? You know?
Yeah.
And I was like, I had to gauge it, and I was just sort of fucking wake up, cunt. I'll be fine. I don't know. Now I'm like over it. I just feel like who gives a fuck?
I literally feel like that. I feel like I'll touch door handles and like wipe my face or whatever the fuck. I don't care. I'll lick a door.
You just talk to people and touch your face and
yeah,
and they get like pissed off about it.
I had to touch this one guy's back today, like this old guy who couldn't walk. Like he got off a train, and I looked down the platform, and he was like almost falling over, and this other guy was like helping him off the train. I was like, what the fuck's going on with that? And he's looking for he's like, I'm going down to the elevator. I was passing him. I was like, you need help getting there? I was like, do you need help getting to that elevator, you know? And I, you know, was holding his back. But bro, this guy couldn't walk. Like he was like falling back like this. He was like,
what the fuck?
He had to like prop him up like Weekend at Bernie's. Yeah, he got off the train. Now we're like I bring him downstairs in the train station. Now he's just off in the city. I was like, all right, you good?
What a mad cunt. He's probably like got dementia and he's like Joe Biden, bro.
Yeah, he's Bidening through the city. He's like smelling little girls and shit.
How do you know he wasn't like maggot drunk? He's just like Dusty. He's me back from the future, and I'm like just trashed.
That's why I helped him a little bit. And then I was like, dude, you got this on your own. You're the fucking bogan. What a mad old dude. Imagine just like strolling out. He's probably left the fucking retirement home, and he's just like, fuck COVID-19, cunt. He's probably come from one of them cesspool retirement homes where like 50% of the population's infected, and he's just like, hey, I'm taking every cunt with me. Yeah. He's probably like necked a heap of fucking schooners at the pub. You've touched him. Now you're fucked, bro. Oh yeah. You probably definitely got it now. It's exactly what I dreamed of.
Hopefully Gav doesn't watch this live, and then you'll be fucking, you'll be all good. Just infect him, and
well, he might after I share this link.
Oh,
yeah. Wild West Dusty and Ryan Rivera. That's me, and that's you.
The fucking Port Film Co-op. Oi, Port, do you want to come on? Come on for a minute and say g'day. Dang.
So I was watching some stuff. And you really do say good day, like that's the thing that you say.
Yeah, g'day. How you going?
Everybody says that.
Oh, yeah. Pretty much.
That's fucking
if you're like normal, you just say g'day. How you going? I feel like if you just say it straight away, the best thing in life, you know, you got to be like straight away first impression. So if you're like g'day, how you going? Shake the hand. How you going, mate? G'day.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, oh, yeah. They sort of like put at ease. They're just like, oh, he's a normal cunt. Like, he's not a fucking weirdo. You know what I mean? So they just give you a go. Yeah.
I'm finding out I think I might be a type A personality. And I don't know what that means. Like,
yeah.
Is that bad? I mean, I think I'm outgoing because, like, I have no problem, like, really talking to anybody.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I did like 2 years of street evangelism, bro. Like talking to people about Jesus, and it was just like, hey, just talking to people, yeah. And you meet every weird fucking cunt on earth, I swear. And you just talk to them, just be like, hey, go and just chat and listen to them, and people try to like kill you, and they get like real offended and shit. So like. I really love that high intensity, man. It's like pretty intense situation where people are like, they're like offended by you straight away. It's like the other kind of, it's kind of like a weird thing where like, say 8 years ago, me and my mates were doing that every Friday night in the city. And this was like before political correctness. So like I already experienced like, hatred and anger before like the wave of hatred and anger that we're fucking seeing right now. Yeah, I like trained my brain into like a fucking you like get addicted to like that weird feeling of like something could pop off any minute, and you're just like, hey, going, or just talk to them, but it'd be like high pressure, and I'd try to be like friendly and funny and stuff. So
yeah, it is a specific ass feeling though. Like. I know exactly what you mean. It's because 90% you won't get into a fight or anything like that. It'll just be really uncomfortable. But that 10% it's a heavy 10.
If you learn how to like feel comfortable in that situation, it's like better than going to university for 4 years, I reckon. You got to like train your brain to like trick yourself into just being like, yo, hey, fucking going.
I don't know if you do you watch Gavin's show?
Yeah, I've just subbed.
Nice. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm Gavin McInnish's show, Get Off My Lawn, Censored.tv. And you're up for another one already? I gotta catch up. Shit. 2 weeks ago, we had this weekend where one of his buddies came in, and I know him too. I know this guy, and shit got weird, and then there was a fight that broke out there.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
That one, yeah. And so I didn't realize my adrenaline control was good, but I don't think I was like. Now I've been in situations where my knees were shaking, and it's because the lead up, because you don't know what's going to happen. But once things start happening, I'm pretty comfortable because you're just like, all right, it's inevitable. But when my mind starts getting into it, and you're like, is that going to happen? Is that going to happen? I got real nervous that night at the NYU talk. I wound up fighting a couple guys there. But once it starts, it's fine. But like that initial kind of like you feel that rumbling of energy, like it's definitely happening. I don't like that. That's bad for me.
Yeah. That feeling of fear. It's like right at that point where you have to like, it's either fucking stomach it and you've got nerves of steel, or you let it take over and you're fucked.
Yeah, and you know why I think I'm scared of it? Coming to think of it, because I will not start a thing, because that's just not in my best interest. You don't know who people are, and you don't know. I mean, I've seen so many like Reddit.
Some cunt
like,
could
fights.
have AIDS, bro.
Oh, dude, yeah, you could. Yeah,
like, you don't know what the fuck's going on. Some cunt could have a fucking knife, or you could like bash the cunt, punch him, and get his filthy AIDS.
Yeah,
like you don't know what the fuck's going on.
I always thought that'd be a really like cheeky way to try to not get hit. If you're like, bro, I have AIDS.
I got in a fight. I was pissed walking back. We have this thing. It's sort of like we call it schoolies. So this is fucking I don't know, 13, 14 years ago, right? Back when I was 17. It's kind of like you guys have spring break down in Miami.
Okay.
And you're on the beach, so we have like massive party, thousands of people on the beach and shit. All the young teenagers when I was a teenager graduating from school, and I was walking. I dropped some chick back to a hotel, and I was walking back on the beach, and then like 3 dudes come up, and they're like, "Blah blah blah, fuck you, mate!" Like flicked my hat off my head. I'm like, "What the fuck, cunt?" And then like started punching on, and then like I'm fighting like 3 of them, and I bang, 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 and then I was kind of got down and I was getting my ass kicked, and then I was like, man, I got asthma, and they were like, oh fuck, and then I just fucking slammed one cunt, and I just legged it, and I was like, fuck you.
So you didn't use that as an out, you used that as like an upper hand.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I've got asthma, fuck, help me, and they were like, oh, and they backed off, and then I just slammed this cunt. I slammed him. And then I like legged it about 5 meters, and I was like, "Fuck you stupid cunt!" and just kept running.
You are a sneaky cunt.
I got away with it.
That's good. I like.
Because you can get fucked up. You get fucked up, man. Fighting like 3 cunts. Like I was just about to die.
Dude, I think 2 fights I've ever been in. It was like some other guy just started jumping in. Like there was one in this college town that I was in. Super liberal. I was talking to one of my friends. This girl butts in, and she's like, I bet you got a small dick. I was like, I'm not even talking to you, but yeah, no, you're right. No, no, but I have a picture, and I'm pretty proud of like this dick pic that I got. And so I was like, do you want to see it? I was like, here, see it. And then her guy friend is like, I'll see it. I was like, all right, I'm not gonna. And I said, gay. So I was like, bro, I was like, I'm not going to show it to you, but if you I put in a passcode, and I was like, if you press the number 8, you'll see it. So you do it. And he's like, no, Dad. All of a sudden he's now. So now me and him are in an argument, because this chick just butts in. I'm not even talking to them. And so I start yelling at them and shit like that. And then we're outdoors on the patio, and the bar back guy comes out. He's like collecting all the empties. And he's like, dude, you got to leave, to me. because I'm like yelling. And so I get kicked out, and while the bouncer's talking to me behind him, he's making faces at me. He's like, "Oh, you gotta leave? You gotta go?" And I'm just like, "Bro, I'm gonna punch you. Like when you get out of here, I'm gonna fuck you up." I was like, "I'll be waiting outside." And I don't really do shit like that, but I was drunk, and this guy was such a little bitch, you know, and like, and he didn't want to see my dick picture. You know, that hurts. He didn't want to press the button. So me and him fight outside. You know, long story short, we fight outside, and then while we're on the ground, like in some MMA shit, I got him in a headlock finally.
Yeah.
Fucking his bro's like, "Fuck this," and he starts hitting me in the head. I'm like, "You're not even involved in this. What are you doing?"
I've been in so many fights where I've been punched in the back of the head by other cunts. It's just not funny, eh?
Yeah, I think that's why the back of your head's strong, because it knows that people are cheap fucks.
Yeah, and
you can punch me in the head all day.
Your forehead, so it's just like the trick is always just take it in the forehead, eh? If you see it coming. I've had cunts break their hands on my head.
Wow.
For sure.
Wow. How many fights you been in?
Heaps, bro. The Fighting Fedora said, "How's your bogan impression, Ryan?"
It's probably not that good. It's fucking garbage, cunt. I used to do pretty. I mean, I think I could do a better New Zealand, because there's two accents. There's
go New Zealand.
There's New Zealand, and then there's regular. That's my idea of Australian accents.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I'm not that good at it, but I know it's a little higher, and so me and my mate Brett, we're out there like looking for some tacos or whatnot. And, you know, this old cunt comes towards me, starting a fight, and I'm like, "Get out of here, you jerk."
You're almost mixing them, but yeah.
I am. I know. And dude, that's something I really always wanted to get. It's like the coolest accent out of all of the white ones. You know what I mean?
New Zealand, you reckon, or what? Or
no, Australia. Yeah. It's got a rounder thing. It's got a rounder thing to it.
And I was watching Port's rolled in. Yo, Port, how you going, brother?
Yo, can you hear me?
Hey,
yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Hey, Ryan, how you going?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Very good.
Port helps me do some lives.
Very cool. That's a nice setup back there. That's like a cool fucking space.
Thank you.
Fuck yeah.
That's the hang spot right there. That's where we should be. We should all be simulcasting from that room right now.
Yeah. Just necking beer bongs.
Hell
and
yeah.
Port's fucking pad. Yo.
Got the
what
tea
are you
rocking?
drinking there? Vodka tea or what?
Rose hip tea. Straight edge.
Straight edge.
Yeah. That's good shit.
You know, when I used to do those lives? No, sorry, yeah. But when I used to do those lives and you were like, "Do a beer bong," like Dusty used to come in the. I don't remember that, but my memory shot, and I didn't know what a beer bong was back then. Like, what? You told me the other day you're like a beer bong. What the fuck's a beer bong? I was like, there's no point in my life I didn't know where a beer bong was. I don't know what I was talking about. I lied.
You must have been tanked because you were doing karaoke.
Oh, I was tanked.
Like, this is your Instagram before your current Instagram.
Rest in peace.
Before they fucked you over. Right. And I used to troll Ryan, and I think I would troll Gav as well, and I'd just always be like, "Do a beer bong, cunt." Did I tell you, Ryan? Fucking Gav, right? He messaged me on Telegram, right? This is the first time he reached out to me, and so it said Gavin McGuinness, and he goes, "Oh, hey man," and I was like, "What do you want, cunt?" And I didn't know it was him. I thought it was a troll because I got heaps of trolls. Like, I thought it was fucking Sonic or one of my fucking Bogan Slayer or something, right? And
I
was like,
did that knowing it was him.
Yeah, I didn't know it was him. I just thought, "Oh, what do you want, cunt?" And then I like deleted the conversation. And then the second time he messaged me, I was like, maybe it is him. You know what I mean?
Dude, I guarantee you made a strong impression with that "what do you want, cunt" thing.
Yeah,
that's
probably.
Funny.
That was it.
Because the other way around, you might have said something like, "Hey man, big fan, glad you reached out." Like, that's kind of gay.
It's pretty gay.
If you say "what do you want, cunt," like that's like we're friends forever now.
And then, like, when I finally got a phone call with Gav, I was just like, this is my plan. It was like Pinky in the brain. I'm like, I'm going to take over the world.
Yeah. What are we
And I
gonna
bet
do
you it
tonight,
was just
Pinky?
like, fuck. Like, hung up the phone.
No, he's been excited about, He told me about you. That's kind of how I find out about. I mean, I knew of you for sure. Like I've heard your name and stuff like that, but like to be formally introduced to your content and stuff like that, Gavin was like, "Hey, you gotta check this guy out." So it's a good.
I reckon I've been
nudge.
shadow banned. I lost my Facebook channel, and now I'm back on there. But fuck Facebook.
I hate.
I'm never gonna like reinvest in Facebook again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, me neither. All my photos, like my friend that passed away, my parents, all my family pictures and shit like that, they just deleted. Like, who the fuck are you guys?
Fucking assholes, man.
It makes me incessantly pissed every time I think about it.
Yeah,
it's bad. It's bad.
Because like I've got my last few streams have been like pretty Proud Boy fucking focused, and like proudboys.com flashes up on my outro. And like I'm doing that I was streaming that on Facebook, so I'm flying under the radar.
Mm.
And like I know my missus is like, I don't want you to fucking lose your Facebook again, because it says she's married to my fake profile.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So now she's married to my fake profile.
Yeah, that matters
like,
to women a lot.
Yeah. What am
really
I gonna
does,
say to the fucking the kids and the fucking?
Are you banned
everyone?
yet?
Huh?
Are you banned yet? What's your mate's?
Oh,
no, your buddy's name?
Port Film Cop. I've never been on Facebook in my life.
Oh wow.
I promised myself I never would, and I'm very glad that I'm not. And I think that Facebook and social media really is much more of a woman's concern. I think it really does rule their brains.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand the story about your wife, because it's like that they freak out as if that's reality, like particularly with Instagram. Instagram fills them with so much envy, that woman's ass is better than mine, or that kind of stuff.
And then
so
like
on
Instagram, when I see like ripped as fuck dudes, I'll be like, fucking oath, mate. I'd be like, you fucking worked your ass off for that. I'm like inspired. I'm inspired. Right. I'm just like, fucking oath, dude. Like if I see, it's probably from watching Pump and Iron and all the Arnie action movies, So like if I see some juicing cunt, you'd be like, hey, go on, bro. And just be like,
you know what that is too? Bro, it's like skyscrapers. Like when you see skyscrapers in the city, my instinct is to be like start breaking it down. Like how the fuck did they, like, first of all, who designed it? Second of all, who started building it? Like you got to think of like these guys carrying girders and shit and planting rebar and dumping cement, waiting fucking. These are real people, real life, like thousands of people on this fucking skyscraper.
Imagine the cunt with imagine the guy with abs. I think of a dude with abs and I just go, fuck that. I do like, I've got mates, we'd train, they'll be like, we've got to do some abs at the end of this. And I'll just be like, fuck your abs, cunt. I'm never going to have fucking abs. I drink too much beer. And as soon as I do an ab workout, I'm like, the next day, I'm just like, fuck this. Now my whole existence sucks because I did abs.
I like the feeling of ab, like the after, like the day after, because when you flex, you feel like you have like a hardcore. But I don't like doing the sit up. I don't like the motion. Like my back starts feeling all fucked up. But the thing about the skyscrapers, like I think the like BLM, how they're burning shit up. And whatever Gavin pointed out, that they're it's like a I hate my dad type vibe, where it's like, you guys built all this shit, I hate it because I'm not a part of it. I want to knock it down. But we see it and we're like, it's inspiring. You just wonder, like, wow, the fuck
because they're pathetic fucking losers, man. They have like weird anxiety, fucking mental problems. Like they are the most weak cunts on earth, man. I swear to God, you have to like. When we see them in real life, it's just like, just say, nah, fuck, you're a dumb cunt. Like, they are just retarded fucking idiots. It's just so simple.
That's a good solution. To just tell them they're
so simple.
That might
just be like, you fucking stupid fucking idiot. Like,
Antifa
you can't
and BLM,
live.
to be clear too.
Yeah. They are all fucking stupid. It's like we need to save the blacks, the gays, everyone from that poisonous ideology. Like,
yeah,
they're just turning them into fuckheads. And you know they're going to come after white Christian males. Like, you don't think they're going to heap the white Christian male into a victim category? Like, that will be the worst thing. Like, at the moment, we're like the last fucking, we're the Satan. We're like the white devil. You know what I mean? The white devil. But the thing is,
see them being the
worst.
Class?
Oh, the worst. I would prefer to be white Satan, right? Then become one of their victim groups. So we have to like, we should be saying to the whole world, be like, it's all good over here. You don't have to be a fucking loser and be like blacks. We're like, it's like fucking, you know, the Jews and cunts were like, yeah, mate, we'll give you safe passage, or like cunts who are trying to rescue slaves. That's what we're about. We're like, come on, mate, get away from these fucking demonic losers.
Oh,
like,
bro, every time somebody says something outspoken, even when Ellen DeGeneres, as liberal as she is, she probably, whatever.
Yeah.
When she was like, I think it's okay to sit next. Yeah, but when she was like, I think it's okay to sit next to people you don't agree with, when she was sitting next to George Bush, like, everybody that I know was like, yeah, Ellen, or Kanye, yeah, Kanye. Like, anytime somebody steps over that boundary and they're like, I'm reasonable, we love them. The left kicks out their own, and they're like, no, you don't toe every single thing that we like, so you're out of here. And we just bring them in, and it's almost to a fault where we're just like, oh, cool, you hated us and you were a piece of, like, if Don Lemon switched over and he was like, you know what, this is all bullshit, like, Trump ain't that bad. If he said just that, everybody from the right would be like, you know what, he's a good egg. We really do just bring him over. Like, we really
it's like, see, the most unhealthy, like, this is the thing, like, having an anxiety-driven fucking mentality, bro. They've created a standard that's unobtainable. It's unattainable, unachievable. You cannot, all the list of rules and shit, you will never be able to do it. You will never be able to do it. So eventually people will defect because they'll be like, fuck, I can't do it. This is what Jesus dealt with, bro. You know, when Jesus was like calling them religious hypocrites and Pharisees and shit? This is the same mentality, bro. They create like, these are the list of rules that you have to abide by. You have to follow these rules, and they make them up, and it's fucking unobtainable. It's unachievable. You're a fucking sinner. That's all you are. We're all a bunch of sinners. There's no way to fucking salvation because we're just filthy heathens, whatever. And this is the same mentality. You know what I mean? Well, you cannot achieve this standard. They're lying. They can't even achieve it.
Well, the thing, I mean, depending on how you interpret it, though, I mean, like, with Jesus, it's like you are going to be forgiven as long as you repent your sins and try to be it. But yeah. I know what you mean. But
no. Jesus was on our side. Jesus was on our side. The people Jesus was talking against, like the religious Jews at the time, or the religious fucking whatever the people who are obsessed with the law. So they've traded in religious law for political correct law. This is the new religion.
Yeah, oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
So they've traded in, like, they used to use, religion to control, and they would invent other little rules and all these unachievable rules, and like, you're fucked. You had to conform, you had to bend the knee, you had to do all this shit. And like, Jesus was like, yo, guys, we're gonna rewrite the game because this is not working. It's fucked. So that's what we're like. We are the
don't kill people, don't fuck your neighbor's wife. That's fucked up.
So that's what we're doing again. We are like the new movement. We're in the same stream of thought of Christ, and these people are the fucking weirdo fucks. Yeah, it's what we're doing.
It feels like literally so obviously like they're the bad guys. Like they even look like the bad guys. Like they to dress in all black and before covering your face was mandatory. That's kind of weird. And now it's mandatory to cover your face. So now security footage can't even get you.
I know. It's
Like
so fucked up.
Before they made you cover your face, Antifa covering their face, wearing black, those are clearly the bad guys, not the guys in fun fucking yellow striped shirts, drinking beers and talking shit with American flags. Like, we're just a colorful group of folks. And they're clearly like all a bunch of little twink Darth Vaders or something.
Oh, the fucking gay lords. Boy, I'm going to try read... Because D-Live's where it's at right now. Fuck. So I've got to, like, skip between chats. If you're on YouTube, you better just tune into fucking D-Live. Fuck yes. Thanks for the lemons, Ferocious Fedora, Black Ball, and Vil. Thanks for the lemons, guys. I fucking missed all that. They know how slack I am. All fucking good. Ferocious Fedora, you're a fucking legend, mate. Anyway, I had to give the shout out.
The lemons are like a donation?
Yeah, you can trade your lemons in for cash. The lemons bought my phone.
Oh, shit. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is that a Proud Boy shirt?
Proud Boys Queensland.
Oh, that's dope.
Bang.
Oh, it's like a... Yeah, man.
It's like our, I don't know what we have. We have like a fucking, some kind of deer thing.
Yeah.
We had like a deer and some weird bird on the Queensland state coat of arms. So
that's how you incorporate that.
All of our chapters have different emblems. I can show you the flag.
Oh, yeah.
I'll grab the flag.
Now, Port.
Yo.
I've heard that koalas stink really bad. Like, their bellies stink. Have you ever smelt the koala belly? And you know what I'm talking about?
Maybe not since I was like 5 years old. I don't remember that. But apparently their breath is like eucalyptus fresh. It's actually amazing.
Shit.
I don't know.
Their breath would definitely be fresh from all the eucalyptus for sure. But I heard that like their belly, they have like this gland.
Yeah, right.
It's maybe for mating or pheromones or something, or to keep away enemies. And it smells like
Dusty, do koalas stink? I don't know.
Like near their belly?
I would imagine they fucking stink, but...
So wait, do you see koalas and you just don't interact with them?
Koalas are really quite well camouflaged, so like they're up in the fucking trees, and they look real grey. So they're like grey and dirty, so they like blend right into the fucking tree.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So kangaroos like fucking everywhere, like around
deer.
my area. Yeah, so around my area, I see kangaroos like. This area's bit fucking doubled in size and population the last 10 years. So it has slowed down a bit, but there used to be a fuckload of kangaroos around here.
They're jacked. I had no idea. Up until 2 years ago where I saw that guy punch the kangaroo because it was attacking his dog. You remember that video?
Fuck yeah, that was like legendary.
Yeah, that was. He and the little thing, his hands, the kangaroo's hands were just like, yeah. And then I saw videos of like one come up. Oh, that's cool. Oh shit, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'll show you. What do we got? So you got all the state chapters have their own emblem. Victoria, Tasmania, South
What's
Australia.
the one at the bottom?
That's Ned Kelly.
What is that symbol?
It's a Ned Kelly. I'll show you. I'll pull up.
Like a metal armor that he wore to do bank robberies, and it's got like a small slit for the eyes, but it's like a tin can on the head.
I can see that now. Yeah.
One of our heroes.
That's very cool.
And Ned Kelly was legend.
Sorry, you go. Sorry.
All good.
I just want to ask Ryan while you're here, because I'm so interested in the alternative media. How are you guys going behind a paywall, and what can you tell us about paywalls and the future of such things. It's a very interesting subject.
It's honestly the only thing that like feels secure, since like I never thought there'd be a day where people could get kicked off PayPal, you know, and soon people are going to be able to like get kicked off of Amazon, and I guarantee they'll be kicked off cell phone services. Like Verizon won't carry you if you. I guarantee that'll happen. That's creepy, unless things start slowing down and reversing, you know. But it feels like secure, you know, because then they can't, you know, make you stop being your own private website that you fund and you pay for the streaming. But the thing is that whoever is the streaming service, they could. I don't even, you know what? I'm not sure, but last I heard,
they can
the
cut
streaming
you off.
service, they can cut you off. Yeah.
Like
So I know that
your internet provider could cut you off. Like, there's a fucking, if they want to, they can be cunts about this.
Yeah, and that's the scary part, is that when money doesn't talk as much as virtue signaling anymore or whatever.
It's the new currency of being a fuckhead.
Yeah, so that's
I'll
scary. That's the only scary thing about it.
Thanks, fighting Fedora. Ferocious Fedora, get off my patch. There you go. But I'll do a beer bong. Have you seen my beer bong?
Oh, it's like attached to your wall, like it's ready to go.
Fucking oath it is, mate. Thanks for the super chat. You.
I think that's a whole ass beer. Yeah, I heard the froth. Beauty.
And so, how's the project going behind the paywall? Like, it seems to be still alive, obviously.
Oh, dude, yeah.
You know, and it's growing.
It's going pretty strong. I went to Verizon the other. I mean, this is just like some anecdotal shit on like that. There are people out there, but upstate, where my grandparents live, it's like a bunch of little towns. It's not like the city where you can get recognized. Like, you know, you have a bigger chance. Like, there's like small towns, and I was in this really small town, fucking Verizon. I'm wearing my censored TV shirt, and the guy's like, he's like, that's really weird that you have that shirt, because like I just signed up to that. My friend sent me the link because like I like Crowder and, you know, Owen Benjamin and shit, and like he sent me this, and I was like, I just signed up. I was like, I'm on that show. You're gonna see me on there. I was like, this is weird, you know, to meet a subscriber and somewhere like, it's not desolate up there, but there's like, it's not a ton of people out there, so like the chances of that are pretty. So there's a lot of subscribers, and they're, you know, they pay monthly, so it's like, you know, guaranteed income, and then that puts the pressure on us every time we go on a vacation that we have to record episodes, and, you know, fulfill, like, you know, we hear a lot from people too that like, you know, every day I'll listen to you when I'm doing this or when I'm doing that, so it's like, it feels good. It feels like a real personal relationship where like they're helping us out, and then we're like in their lives, and that's a fun thing. So it feels like a real tight-knit, great thing that can't be fucked with quite yet. But I mean, that would really suck. Like if, I mean, because we've been being kicked off social media doesn't really bother us no more. I think because Gavin's got nothing, bro. He used to just post pancakes on his Instagram and like fun shit. It was never like inciting violence and shit. It was just fun. He just doesn't have an Instagram no more. I don't have a Facebook anymore, so that's all retarded. But it feels like the site is like what we got, and so it's like it kind of actually focuses everything in on it.
But like now we got Parler, and you got Telegram. Like Telegram and Parler seem to be all of our people on the same. They're tuned into that frequency, are like there.
That's what's kind of a bummer to me. It's like I want to ruffle some feathers, and I don't. Everybody's going to agree with me. It's actually Parler's. It's kind of like a contest of like who gets to it first, because it's like, see this thing that we're all going to agree with. Yeah, it's obviously. Yeah. I mean, but the fun thing is there are different takes, and that's where the personality shine. Milo might say that about it. You might say this about it. Gab might say that about it. So that's fun. You get the spectrum of different approaches to one thing. But when you're pissing off people and you got comments like "fuck you," that's kind of fun. I kind of want to talk to, like, I don't want to be, there's no world that we want to live in where it's just like us, just like, yeah, we all agree. Like, we like diversity. We like hearing other people say shit that is just stupid and retarded, like communism rules or whatever the fuck it might be. But now we're just all on our own little island, you know? It's almost like being married. It's like when you're married to somebody so long, you have nothing to say.
What about the black dude, fucking Nick Cannon? Did you see his like crazy shit he said? Oh, like I liked what he had to say. Like whatever he had to say, I'm just like, I like different like crazy.
Yeah, it was out theology.
There. Like I love that shit. I live off different theologies and religious ideas. I'm like, yeah, I'm frothing at the mouth. Like fucking oath. That's how I got my white skin. Like I'm just like the truth. Whatever.
Yeah, it's a colorful. It's like a Marvel story. He's talking about outer space and chemicals and like tachyons and shit. Like,
it's like reading the Book of Mormon.
Thing.
Like,
it's just
I
out
have
there.
Mormon missionaries who come to my house, and I'm just like, come in. Tell me the truth. I want to hear it. But like, maybe we should reach out to Nick and be like, "Yo, Nick, want a show on fucking censored TV?"
Yeah, dude. I mean,
just tell us all about his fucking how black people are like the devil and shit, and white people are the devil. Sorry, and I'll just be like, "Yeah,
you know what? That's fun because it's like a fairy tale. Like I like that. Like that. That really is like you should make a
truer than, but it's so much truer than what fucking stupid idiots out there believe. Like, I believe what Nick is saying is probably closer to reality than what some of these left-wing cunts believe.
Yeah, it's rigid. They all believe something like rigid. Yeah, isn't that weird that everything has to fall like on a party line? Like, you know what's fucked up about the whole anti-government shit that like BLM and Antifa is doing? It's like it gives us no chance to say, hey, you know what? Yeah, fuck the government. Like, I don't want to see federal courthouses burn and shit like that. But I'm positive there are problems in the system that we could correct. But this is a big distraction. It's almost like Donald Trump. I realized that in no point have I had any critique of him because I've been defending him so hard. He's like my brother. I can make fun of my brother. But if the whole world's making fun of my brother, I'm going to be like, fuck off. No, you fuck off. Fuck off. He's awesome. This is why he's awesome. We've been defending this guy so long, it's hard to be objective sometimes. And, you know, and we should be like, fuck the government to a large extent. Nobody loves the government. Nobody loves
like fucking rapists and pedophiles who they give them fuck all time in jail. Like in Australia, like some cunt will rape a child and get 5 years jail.
That's crazy.
And like I've said to my missus, I'll be like, why aren't we fucking burning these courthouses down? Like this is fucked up. Like it has to get to the point where I've made that statement in the past about where there's actual injustice and some fuckhead, we created a society where a rapist or a pedophile just fucking walks, essentially. Wow. And then these cunts are like trying to burn down courthouses for like a made up fucking fantasy. Like, but we've got pedophiles fucking living in the suburbs and not in jail. Like, what the fuck's going on?
The difference is they're burning down courthouses to normalize pedophilia. Their agenda is so radical and postmodern that my fear is it's not just about burning down buildings, but they're burning down structures, right? That's what they're trying to do. My fear is when I look at the world, it seems that we have an inability to build and construct good new institutions. That's why I'm a conservative, because I want to maintain the structures that I believe in. My fear is that accelerationists on both the left and the right are working together to burn everything down, but we will replace it with something that will be hellish. It would be a disaster, and probably involve a lot of technology that would be like a new kind of jail. That's my fear. Yeah.
Oh, that we're there. You know, you're absolutely right. That's terrifying because I've always had this suspicion that
BLM's in the comments section.
Oh boy, I've always had the
BLM. Come on, I'm gonna share this.
Get protected. I always got the feeling that we're being funneled into each side, so it's a global civil war, basically. Like, what the fuck did George Floyd have to do with the England protests and stuff like that? It's a fairy tale on a biblical level. It's a faith-based thing. It's a two-people story. It's a cop and a man, both flawed, and their consequences, their actions should have no consequence on the world. It's a fucking anecdote, and everybody's riled up about it. And it's like, you know, they're always talking about, we don't like fascism, we don't like dictatorship. You let the actions of one man control what's happening globally, you are willingly funneling yourself into what is a fascist thing. You're letting the actions of one guy, this cop that you hate so much, that's what's fueling this whole thing. But
it was never about that. Like, the Floyd thing was just a trigger. They'd been planning this for a long time. And if you remember when Trump was elected and there was all those protests were planned for if Hillary won. You know, they expected Hillary to win. Those Antifa tearing everything down were going to protest Hillary from the radical left. So this is he's just an excuse. He's not a real inspiration for anything. He is it's mostly a fabricated story. I mean, what happened was bad, but the way that they're making him to be the new Jesus is just ridiculous, and obviously trying to replace, replace Jesus, basically. I mean, I'm being serious here. This is a religion.
He's moving the masses like nobody else has ever.
It's like this is the core reason why we hate. Like, I understand why people hate religion, because it's like a way to manipulate. People don't. It's like a disingenuous way of controlling and manipulating people, and so we go like, "Fuck that!" I hate that too.
Yeah.
So I think even Jesus was like fixing that. Like, his whole thing was the religious people, and he's like, "Yo, I want to help yous."
It's supposed
build
to be
a new spiritual structure and way to connect to God, and he's like, and I want to give you spiritual empowerment. But here we have these fucking religious dickheads who have literally in the same stream of thought of the people who want to use some kind of authoritarian structure to control. It is ultimate authoritarianism. It's transcending from political and like legal structure into cultural control. Like, that's the whole thing with the social media. So that's why it's like cultural Marxism is the transcending into culture. Like, the control mechanisms have fucking, you know, that's a thought crime. You can't say that. Like, all this bullshit. We had someone pop up for a second who was going to come into the live. I don't know who it was. Maybe it was BLM. He got scared.
You know what's creepy too? It's like not only does it make other people conform to it too, but that type of using religion as like the ultimate excuse to excuse everything. You know, it's like, you know, that's kind of like the worst. That's what has always given religion a bad name. Is when people go out and they do something wacky, they're like, yeah, God told me to do it. And so
Karl Marx told me to do it.
Right. Yeah. I'm doing this for a good reason.
They've got their own little gay book.
Yeah. I'm doing something bad for a good reason, believe me. And I'm trying to like fast forward like in my head, like
justification, man. Like, all the Marxists I've had when we brought them on this live, and often I'll just post the link and say, well, just come on, cunt, and tell me about what you believe. And they always be like, well, your words have consequences. What you say has consequences. And it's like, yeah, because they believe that they will break the law if they don't like your words. They will bash you or assault you, or they believe they create an ecosystem or a new circular reasoning where it's like they fucking justify their means the violence is justified by the fucking new ecosystem of ideas, and it's circular
It's
reasoning.
language.
You know?
It starts with language. It starts with a hashtag. It starts with a phrase. Like pedophilia is just
A mental illness or something.
They'll call it like ageless love or some shit. Like you'll see. It's just they'll find some way to justify it with language, and language kind of dictates how we see things. It's a symbol. That's what makes us different from animals. Is that there's a stop sign that says stop, or so when you label something, and multiracial white supremacists, that sounds like a fucking joke. That sounds like
it's
a joke.
Fucking joke, man.
But it's real. That's something that we have to say, like it's real. And so it's like 1984 has always said like Big Brother is gonna get you or whatever. Right now it's like Big Brother is telling your little brother, who's also your brother, that little brother is ratting you out. It's fucking your neighbor. It's your buddy. It's the person that works at the deli who's been like, you kind of get a little too free at the bar, and you're like, yeah, I like Trump. And now he's like keeping an eye on you. He's like monitoring. It's like little brother. It's not, we got, like a.
It's the serpent in the garden, bro. Like, they've been telling these stories since the fucking ancient of days, bro. Like, as soon as they told a story, they were like, and there was a garden, and it was the temple, and it was the representation of heaven on earth. And there was the high priest and priestess who were, the perfect people. But there was, and even in that fucking scenario, there was a serpent. You know what I mean? There was a snake who's fucking there being a dog cunt. And ratting you and like fucking like polluting the fucking atmosphere of, and it was always words, it was always language, you know what I mean?
Slithering words.
Yeah, just fucking planting like this bullshit. I always have these arguments with my family, and they'll be like, fucking someone says this and that, and I was like, if you want to talk that shit, don't come to this house, because once it starts, you gotta be fucking careful.
That sucks, man. It really sucks. It's like, my parents, although they've been voting Democrat their entire life, they're starting to come around now because they realize that I'm actually trying to inform myself. The only time I've been liberal until like Obama's, like I didn't even, when Trump was first running, I didn't even like Trump then. It's when I started listening to Gavin, and it sounds like, I was brainwashed. No, it's like I never opened my mind at all to the thought that Republicans and people with money aren't bad guys. Like, what a dumb fucking thing to think, because like my parents came from the Bronx and stuff like that. It's like, you guys are the Republican bracket now. You don't live in the fucking slums. You don't need welfare anymore. Why are you still voting for the Democrats? I don't get it. They're lying to you. And I know your heart goes out to people that are, where we used to be, but they're not benefiting from that. If you look at all the stats, all these Democrat cities, all the programs that
they don't do anything. They don't fucking help anyone.
Yeah, and they agree. They agree point by point. They agree that the drag queen story hour is fucked up. I was like, well, that's that side. That's the side of liberalism where you say, just let it all in. You could fuck kids. You could fucking have a drag queen read to your kid and shit. They don't realize it because they're not informed. It doesn't take information to be a Democrat or a liberal. It takes emotion. And what they do is they play on your emotion. They say, are you a good person? You say, yeah. And I have a bleeding heart too. I care about people. So they monopolize altruism. They try to say that if you like the right thing, the good guys, we're the good guys. The good guy is never the guy who says, I'm the good guy. It's always the creepy fucker who's like saying, I'm the good guy. Yeah. Don't trust that guy. Hey,
fucking personal responsibility and isn't as sexy as fucking a bleeding heart, Like I always say, it's like, I think like a fucking, a normal person, a right winger or a Christian, whatever, would be like, oh, look at the stats. Look at this shit. It's terrible what's going on. And then we go, that's no fucking good. 10 of us, we volunteer an hour a week and $10 a week, and we're going to fucking solve that problem. You start a charity and you solve the fucking problem. This is what we do. This is what my church does. This is what all the lists of charities. Me and my wife, we have a list of charities, and we go $5 a month to six different charities. It's only $5 a month. It's $30 a month, and we go. These are like Stop Human Trafficking and Modern Slave Trade is one. Sponsor children and end global poverty. Stop the fucking one of them is binary, which is stopping fucking the sexualization or what is it, the degendering of society. One's the Australian Christian Lobby, our local church, and then I give to our chapter. So I was like, here's $6 charities I can give to, and it's pretty much solves all the problems of the earth I can see, like I can think of, and I just all good. Someone's created a fucking organization that is out there physically doing something about it, and it's like 90% of the funds will go to like the problem. Where if you go to the government, it's 90% of your taxes will be consumed by government, and 10% will fucking go to the cunts who need it.
Yeah.
And so, like, what are the left doing? Like, what are they talking about?
That's what's amazing. It's like
we fucking hate racism, we hate slavery, and it's like, oh, okay, well, there's this charity. There's this charity. Give $5 a month. They won't fucking do it.
You just pointed out to me like something so fucking bizarre is that there really are people that are dying, diseased, and there's no fucking emotional sexiness to it. Like that term use is really, it's true. It's like this attractiveness to it. And it's really fucked up because like there's really people out there that have despair. They need help. You know, they are helpless. They are a minority. They are, you know, they could use our help and awareness. And it's all being funneled into what? Don't say fag. Don't say nigger. You know, Black Lives Matter. I mean, not that I want to say fag or nigger, but I mean, is that really important? Like, because it's almost like they're saying, don't say these words as if we're like, I want to. Nobody's saying they want to. They're just saying, don't worry about my words at all. Like, there are people out there who are hurting. And it's like, now it's all funneled into social justice. You're making that person uncomfortable. Microaggressions. What?
It's not even microaggressions. They are not even social justice warriors. They're keyboard warriors. They're fucking protest warriors. They don't give $1 out of their fucking time, an hour out of that time, or $1 out of their pocket. They don't.
Well, now they're giving their lives. Now they're standing in front of fucking cars and shit. That's somebody's daughter and son brainwashed.
And that's so retarded. The retarded thing is they'll go and be violent fuckheads, but they won't be like, oh, if I go and do 2 hours overtime every week, and that's an extra $50, and I can support. If you gave that $50 a week, you support 4 fucking kids in Africa.
Strategy. They don't
do something about it. You fucking idiots! Like
pure emotion. It's gone from being a class struggle to one of identity, sexuality, and race, because the working class. There are no working class Marxists. They don't exist. Marxists are from universities.
Are victims.
They're middle class and middle upper class. Okay, and they don't realize that this is just, they subconsciously want to control the proletariat, and that's how communism works every time. So it's it's cultural Marxism. It's
cultural Marxism.
This is we can't.
It's the Frankfurt Institute and all that shit. That's where it's come through. Yeah. Where it's critical theory, and it goes through that kind of fucking. We're having beers with my mate, and his wife's like a psychiatrist, and she was going on about all this shit to me, and I was like, "You've just been brainwashed." I'm like, "What do you think about critical theory?" And she's like, "That's what my doctorate's about." And I'm like, "You've fucking ruined your brain. You are a cultural Marxist." Like, and she like had tears in her eyes when I said that over a meal, and I was like, she knows it. Her brain's been destroyed by this left-wing fucking garbage.
Yep.
Yeah,
I went out with a psychologist that thought there were, infinite genders and all these things.
The sociology department has fucked the West. Like, all this problems has come from the sociology department of the universities. Like, it's where it's come from.
That's what the left does so well, is that they control linguistics. As you were saying, Ryan, when you control language, you kind of control reality. And so when you control language, that there's not 2 genders, there's 60, and that there's an infinite amount of sexualities, and they are all equal. Or maybe the smallest minority ones are superior, and we need to balance it out. Like this control of language and linguistics is the key. And the right doesn't do that because it just wants to continue living as our ancestors have. It just doesn't want to remove what has worked. But the left, because they're in constant revolution, will always be chipping away at this.
I think it's like a bunch of pot smokers too. It's because here's the thing: it has this link with imagery, this big picture thing. I'm not knocking people that smoke pot, but I know what it's like to have smoked pot for years. I wrote a lot of music.
That's pot in your pot. No.
But here's the thing: is like you're.
Hang on, Ryan. This BLM wants to join. So BLM, right? We see your chat. I've posted the link. You're in the living room. Now I can bring you in. It says the device is not connected. You need to connect your mic and your audio. If you click on the 3 dots, you can put a fucking picture up of Donald Trump or whatever you like. And you don't have to show your identity, and you can say your piece. You can tell us what you want to say. So you have to sort your shit out. You have to sort your shit out because I can't let you on the stream until you put your...
That's just an excuse. He doesn't want to come on. I reckon it's both.
He's a fucking loser.
I think
if you get your shit on, you can... At this point, I cannot let you on because it says device not connected. You need to have a fucking... It's probably just a friendly. It could be.
This has got to be a friendly because there's some of this shit popping up. If they really believe that, we have got a retard fish in the retard barrel, and it's like it was overtly over the top. It was. I kind of need to talk to this person now.
Oh,
just to see.
So BLM said,
Dusty,
could you ask your guest?
Yeah. Yeah, it
should be labeled a terrorist organization.
It should be a terrorist organization with an S. Absolutely. Is that how you guys spell organization?
I don't know. I don't know how to spell.
I don't know how to spell the word organization.
What you guys have done to the English language, it's so hard to...
I know.
Yeah,
hey.
Why
don't be a bitch, BLM. You can come on and you can put a fake emoji face up. You just click on the thing. Don't be afraid and say your fucking piece. We're not like you because you're afraid of freedom of speech and you're an authoritarian fuckhead. We believe in freedom. We believe in the West, right? I believe in the Constitution, and the West is the empowerment of the individual, mate. You have a vote. If you break the law, you have a jury of 12 who's going to judge you guilty or innocent. You have the Constitution that is fucking in your freedoms as a fucking human, right? That's a part of being a fucking Westerner, an Australian or American, right? So we believe in that. We are happy to have you on here, you fucking stupid cunt. So come on here and stop being a fuckhead.
The only realm that they could ever exist ever. To speak out against a nation is kind of unheard of in a lot of places. It's kind of unheard of. You kind of might get really fucked up for that. You might get killed. You might get silenced. You got North Korea. I mean, I'm pretty sure the Middle East is a little touchy about that. China, if you talk against the... So I know this whole thing of like, Reg Penny says all lives matter. It is true. Yeah. I mean, is that a not true statement?
I zoned out.
You know what's really funny is like I'm starting to come to this and it's an unchristian conclusion, and I'm having a real, like, as of the past week, I'm having a real, because there's so much stuff that I'm seeing that defies logic, and it bothers me as a person, because human beings like to reason things out. When you have a dream, that means nothing. It's just nonsense. You try to reason out, you say, what does that mean? What does that mean? You're always trying to figure shit out. So nothing's really making sense right now. Now I'm seeing black people saying, all lives matter, and then a white guy punching him in the face with a Black Lives Matter sign. So, nothing's really making sense right now. And I'm kind of like, you know what? I like talking to people, but do I really care about people enough to be like, I care about anybody's plight specifically? Am I so not racist that I just see people as people? And I trust that. Here's the funny thing about these SJWs too. They expect you to be like, well, Donald Trump is spreading these words that are making people do this. It's just as retarded as saying Marilyn Manson's making a kid shoot up a school. No. That guy's insane. And no person has the power to control a person worth talking about, okay? So everybody has a sense of judgment, a sense of consciousness, and says, that's not good. I'm not going to be swayed by that. They really assume that everybody is just like a zombie that will just is anybody's dog for a bone. Like, if I hear this white supremacist argument, you have to censor Gavin McInnes because not that he's a white supremacist, but if he makes a joke about BLM,
he's married to an African. He's married to a fucking American Indian.
Yeah, but they see him as
his fucking children are American Indians.
He's literally surrounded.
It's like if I was married to an Aboriginal woman. And like my children were Aboriginal. Yeah, that's exactly the content, like the context of this.
Yeah, and they have to ban him because he's funny.
Retarded.
Because he's funny, and he literally appeals to people younger than us, to people way older than us. And
he has like an obsession with fucking. Every time I hear him speak about women, he's like, "Oh, this is my type," and it's like he was destined to marry a fucking Indian. Like,
yeah.
Something happened to him as a child, and he was predestined to marry an Indian. And his children are gonna they'll be like, his children will like inherit the Proud Boys and censored TV, and they'll be like, "This is an American Indian club."
That's a great.
They'll claim like native title and shit.
But the funny thing is,
they'll become untouchable. God, I think God like tuned it. He was like.
Good point.
The Big Bang happened, and he was like, threw a little like spit dart out in the mix, and like,
I'm gonna breed.
A billion years later, it fucking happened. You know,
I'm gonna build in some immunity into this bullshit culture that we're in right now. But it's funny because they really think that if somebody listens to Gavin, first of all, you got to label him. He's whatever the fuck he is. He's a bad guy. So he's a bad guy. That's why we got to take him off YouTube. The reason they do that is because they really think that everybody is just so stupid that they will just, because they are stupid and they are influenced. So they just assume the whole world has no judgment. And if I hear something if I watch too much Scooby-Doo, I'm going to be like, wow, there's a fucking ghost, Scoob. Whoa, zoinks. Like, I'm going to think that the fucking, like, they really assume that everybody's so stupid that if they hear an argument of a different type that doesn't fit the narrative, that will sway them. They'll be like, oh shit, I gotta fucking Black Lives Don't Matter. It's insulting. And I'm starting to think right now, it's like, not only do I not care about, like, I should care about my neighbor. The fact that I have to care about people because they're a certain color is a kind of ridiculous concept, because I need to call my mom more. My mom's life matters. And I don't treat it as such. I got to call her a lot more. This woman raised me. She wiped my ass. She taught me things. She stuck in there. It's
so fucking stupid. Like this, I was raised by a single parent mother. And my mum would be like, leave us with Auntie Ollie, who's like a fucking Maori lady. She's a Polynesian. You know what a Maori person is, like a New Zealand native. And we'd live there for months, and she would look after me. So she would help raise me,
right?
You know. So and like I was telling you, my first job was a fucking Solomon Islander Japanese guy who taught me how to work a 70-hour week and fucking. I'm just like, hang on a minute. In my life, I've had just the whole world has helped me. And for some reason, like,
absolutely,
black people and people of all these different races and that have been in actual positions of power my whole life and have actually been the ones who have top down helped me.
You look up to them.
So I don't know well, they fucking helped me. These are the people who taught me how to raise me, and they gave me a job and showed me how to do my job and encouraged me. So I'm like, these people I'm not living in the same world as them. Mm-hmm. I'm not living in I'm like, this is the reality I'm living in. Yeah. Normal cunts, normal it's people reality. Who are fucking good.
Because it's reality. Yeah. That's why.
In reality, these people
their fairy tale is a crooked one of you are a minority. People hate you because you look this way. People, even though the whole world is listening to hip hop and shaking their ass to trap music, and the lead characters of tons of movies are black, and you're pretty much overrepresented. In like, I don't remember an Asian.
I like redhead. Apparently gingers are overrepresented too.
Really?
Yeah, if you look up the stats
on our network, they are like 1 out of 10 entertainers on censored TV.
Why the fuck are gingers? Like, why are gingers overrepresented? I don't know how the fuck that happened. Like,
I'm glad that Asians are underrepresented because I would be really ashamed. Like, I'm glad to not be white or black right
Asians
now.
Asians don't give a fuck. Asians just do not give a fuck.
The 70-hour work week you were talking about, I worked, it was Monday through Friday. No, excuse me. I was off only 1 day of the week working at the sushi restaurant. And it was 12-hour days every day. So I don't know the math of that. I'm a bad Asian. But there's a Korean guy that worked us to the bone. We didn't get a lunch break. We got to eat when there were no customers that were in there. I don't give a fuck. And it's like either way, they're underrepresented. They don't give a fuck. This is a fairy tale that the left has told the black people, saying that you will forever be slaves. People don't like you because you look this way. Even though you're making a huge impact on culture. And people respect what you provide to the world, because we do. We like hip hop, we like rap, we like the blues, we like their art. We like what they have to offer humanity as a people, as black people. And we don't see them as whatever, but they're told that they're this nothingness, this shittiness that we lived in a post-racist society. Like, I grew up and Dave Chappelle and all these people were just like, you were like, fucking like, I don't know, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and all these people. And we were just like, yo, like, I've got Michael Jordan basketball cards, like from fucking 30 years ago, 25 years ago. Right.
And I was like, Johnny Lomu was my hero growing up in New Zealand. Like, everyone was like, I want to be an All Black. I want to be like Johnny Lomu. And the thing is, we were in a post-racist society. We were fucking done. Yeah. It was done. And everyone was getting on fucking good. And then literally it's white communists who have just poisoned the well. They fucking poisoned the well, man.
Yeah.
Like, the people who wrote the Magna Carta and the fucking American Constitution, they created something so good. We're all living up to it. Like, we're all like, yo, they believed in the freedom of all of us. They envisioned, it was probably like 2005. I reckon 2000 to 2005, we're in 2010. I don't know. We were in a sweet spot. We were post-racist world.
It
didn't exist.
Yeah.
It didn't exist. I did not give a fuck. Like, my boss, the Japanese Solomon Islander, I remember him abusing me and be like, put sunscreen on, you stupid cunt. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? And he's like, put it on. And he's like, my mum died of skin cancer and you're white and she was fucking black. And I was like, okay, Jimmy, no worries. Like, putting the war paint on. And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. That's so right. There is that sweet spot of like, and I always love this quote that Gavin says. I don't know if he made it up, but he's like, "America didn't create slavery; we ended it." And some SJW posted this thing of like a Civil War thing, and it's like, white people saying how to protest, meanwhile white people protesting, and it's like a civil war. It's like, yeah, a lot of white people died to stop slavery. I don't know if you knew that, but there was like. It wasn't all about slavery. It was about, territorial pride. And there was tons of, you can't boil shit down like that. Like when you start taking masses of people and their stories and their little nuances of why they're engaged to protect this thing or that thing or their way of life or their way of thinking, or that the fact that, whatever, like just to make the whole story of like, it was literally slavery versus not slavery. That's why they fought. No, I don't think so. And even if it is, that's a beautiful story. And you know what? The North won and slavery lost. And we're all getting to a point where it's going to get better. And I think there's signs all around us, like every major fucking news, including Fox News, is inclusive and recognizes the humanity of all people. So I don't know what the fuck this is all about. Like, it's just mayhem. There's too many people, too many entitled people. And this is what we grew up in also. We grew up in that sweet spot of everybody could be famous. We also grew up in the land of we're all going to be famous. We're all important. We're all special. None of us should be garbage men. None of us should be plumbers. You should.
But we also grew up in an era where like Jackass made you famous. Like
having
being a fucking jump. Yeah. With jumping in a trolley, like a shopping trolley, and getting your mates to launch you into some bushes made you famous. Like
fame is not fame, actually. Fame is being a guy in a sweater and just feeling so. Yeah.
Fame is being. I think like I grew up. When I finished high school, like 2005, it was like Dave Chappelle, South Park, Jackass. And it was just like, it was complete Family Guy, Futurama, all these things, and it was completely anti-political correctness.
And Nick at Night with All in the Family. And Nick at Night. Did you have Nick at Night?
No, I don't know what it is.
It's Nickelodeon after hours, so Nickelodeon would be all
yeah.
And then at night it would be All in the Family, The Cosby Show,
And it was just, how the fuck did we go from... It was like peak anti-political correctness. We peaked anti-political correctness. We were a post-racist civilization. And then it just went. The poison. Literally what happened is social media got invented. That's what happened, man.
What happened also is the government said, these people are so free, they're getting along, and we need a babysitter. They're the parent. And they're like, we need somebody to watch these kids. Let's just have them bicker with each other and play. Basically, this is sports. Politics is now sports. And it's like, if we could just go out and do our shit, we'll do some taxes and adult shit, and we'll have the kids bicker about, this is a sport. I don't like Trump. I do like Trump. Black Lives Matter. All lives matter. This is fucking retarded. Like, I almost don't give a fuck about any of it. Like, that's what I like about Censor TV. There's literally apolitical shit all over the place. You got Copper Cab screaming his ass off. He's an SJW that was a woman once, and he's a ginger, and he's got a girlfriend and a house, and now he's like simping to Belle Delphine. You can get that. You can get Jim Goad and the Beef Squad with JB. They're talking shit about just pretty much everything, but like in a real fun, light manner. They're actually making. Here's the cool thing about it. Is that you make political shit apolitical, because obviously everybody's talking about it. Everybody's in the dog bowl, eating the same shit, but I can't think of two shows that really step over each other, and it's like, and this conversation right here,
it's good because I only just subbed.
So this is
I only subbed, like I only subbed to fucking Censor TV, and I'm like,
I recommend you a bunch of stuff too.
I was like, I got to check out my competition. That's what I was thinking.
Good point.
And honestly, I looked at it and I said, I'm going to fucking smoke these fuckers.
I think you're unique enough to not have competition. Everybody, and like I said, is in a league of their own. And if you were to be a part of the family of the Censor TV, I don't know if that's in the talks or anything. I don't know. I'm just a guy. But if that is in the talks, I mean, you would bring something that's unique, because this isn't a unique thing. If I'm talking for longer than 10 seconds and not being told I'm a retard, then this is new. This is a new thing, because just watch Gavin's show and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, you're like his sort of trusty sidekick, like McDonald's Adam Egget.
Great. Yeah, that's a great example. You know how Adam Egget doesn't really bring it, and he just drops the energy really low?
Yeah, that's his stick. That's his
stick. No one's ever said anything bad about you, Ryan. Like, I don't think no fan of the show has. Everybody loves you, man.
Everybody roots for the underdog, and I clearly need some help. I need the crush.
You're like the hidden talent, because you got all those impressions. Like, you're Bill Burr. He's like, oh my fucking god. You know, even though it's mostly just saying the word brutal, it is
exactly.
It's bang on. I love it.
It's like, dude, I went to the cash register of the store, you know, and it's like, dude, there's this chick there. It's like, dude, she was fucking brutal. She's got like nose rings. And she's like, oh, can I help bag your stuff? It's like, dude, I don't need your help. You know?
Oh my god.
Hang on.
Even Bill Burr doing an impression of someone else. Oh my god, that's exactly how. That's his woman voice. That kind of.
Oh hi, yeah.
Oh my god.
His open eyes and shit. But
contrarian. No, sorry. Contrarian in the fucking studio. You need to hook your fucking audio or sound up if you want to come on.
Hook it up.
Right? You fucking stupid cunt.
Today on the show. Here's a little sneak peek of what happened on today's show. It was pretty fun for Gavin, I think. He had such bad sunburn that his skin was like silly putty, and so anything you touched it to just maintained the imprint. And we decided to use my face. And I don't know if you can see it, but that's my face mark on his body. You can see my nose. It looks like that cloth that Christ's face was on, where everybody can clearly see a face.
It's like this scan I have of my baby. You know?
it's like the man on Mars. It's like that base that looks like a man's face.
That's fucking golden.
If you want to watch
fucking Irish cunt. He's a proper redneck. It doesn't matter how much money you get, you're still a redneck.
He's a red belly.
He's fucking like a lobster, that cunt.
He's silly putty. And so there's footage of me blasting my face into his stomach, and
only on Central TV. I should have been watching that today. I was just whippersnipping all day.
You're actually a day and a half in the future, so there's no excuse. That was yesterday's episode.
Oh fuck! I got a heap to catch up on. And Biggs' show is good as gold, man. I reckon Biggs is a mad dude.
I love Biggs. Biggs is a great guy to hang out with. He's fun. He's one of the few guys that listens to like rock and roll. I want to ask you guys both about your what type of music you listen to, because Gavin went on this Australian rock band kick, and it fucking rules. It's like Fuckwit City by I forget what they're called. Fuckwit City is the place that you ought to be. It's just like raw fucking like grungy rock, and it sounds like Australia. Like when I put that on, I just picture like fucking blokes just fucking bloking out and bloking around with some blokage. So Biggs is one of the few guys that when I partied with him, he was just blasting like metal. It was like, this is what I'm talking about. I like it. What do you guys listen to?
Yeah, I listen to rock and metal. Mainly.
What kind of, give me like two bands. I'll write them down.
Fuck. Do you know? Well, Wolf Mother's an Aussie band, rock band. That's good.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. What I've been listening to? I don't know. I'll send you my playlist. Playlist.
All right, sounds
for sure.
Port, what about you?
But like, I listen to rock more for sure. Rock, metal, mainly rock.
I find I listen to a lot of synth pop, like Depeche Mode, and also the last two albums of Talk Talk, which is more like post rock. But I remember when you played on the Gavin McInnes show that Last Days of Summer. I don't know if you know that song. It's by some 80s group. And yeah, like I think Gavin said that the guy that's pure cocaine, like that music.
Dude, I like the 80s synth shit is I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, to Depeche Mode, I like the synthesizer. I think it's just been a child of the 80s. And when I go to metal, I tend to go to Metallica, things like that.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Can I play you guys a tune?
Sure.
Do I have permission?
Yeah, go for it.
Bogs? All right, let's see. Is this, can you hear this?
Yo.
Does this sound, oh, can you hear the guitar?
Yeah, we can hear it.
All right. Wait, hold on 1 second. Have you guys ever had a musical number on the show before?
Yeah, we had fucking Dave. Dave played his piano.
Oh, Dave Hiscox, yep.
Dave Hiscox is like what is he, a piano?
He's a classical music teacher and a composer in his own right to some extent, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, I've got so many Australian guys I can hook Gab up to have on a show.
Well, I
like these cunts.
God dang it. I wanted to be the first one.
You number 2. This first guitar.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You're the first, yeah.
Well, all right, let's see.
You're number 2. If you're not first, you're last anyway, but.
That's exactly what I always say. I don't know how you knew that, but I do say that. Okay. Is that coming through clear?
Yeah.
It sounds pretty
crystal clear.
Hanging out in a fried out Combi on a hippie trailhead full of zombie. I met a strange lady. She made me nervous. She took me in and she gave me breakfast. Come on, fellas.
I come from a land down under.
Where bitters flow and the men thunder high. Can't you hear that thunder? You better run, you better take cover. I like to, you got to throw some Jamaican in there. That's when I got comfortable. Good. When it started getting Jamaican is when I started getting comfortable. You come from the land down under.
I reckon Jamaican music is good. Sorry, Paul.
I was just gonna say, what's classic about that song is I'm pretty sure, although he lived in Australia, it's an English immigrant, like AC/DC, English immigrant.
Oh, really? Oh,
Jimmy Barnes. They're usually from England or Scotland.
No
that's
way.
Mostly who we are in Australia.
So wait, but Angus Young, is he proper Australian?
No, they're Australian, but they grew up here. But they came out here as kids. They're from England. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Same thing with Brian Johnson.
Same with
Brian Johnson.
It must be good for people that like transition. Same thing happened to Gavin McInnes. He got moved from one.
Yeah, that is weird. Because
English country to another.
He's English, and then he went to Canada, and now he's probably bigger in the United States, right?
Boy, I gotta go take a slash.
Sure, go for it.
You'll be right.
So I got a good question. I got a good question for Ryan. All right, so I've watched the show quite a bit, and I remember when you were fired. You got to tell me the story of when you were fired, because when you were fired, I emailed and said, I am not going to watch this show unless you get this guy back. And I got an email back saying, he's back. Are you happy? So what's the deal with you being fired? What happened there? It sounds like there was a bit of a messy.
Yeah, it was a crazy thing with like my ex-girlfriend at the time. So this gorgeous girl, and we had a lot of great times. We had a lot of rough times. And, I don't have any propensity in my history of girlfriendhood or girlfrienddom to get physical whatsoever. So there was a lot of physicality coming from her. And there was a lot of, fake suicide things coming from her and stuff like that. Or maybe not fake, but saying stuff and then it not being true and then all that stuff. So, there was a lot of emotional fragility there. So basically what happened was there was a call to the police, and it's something you can't take back. And that got me into a good amount of trouble, but it was one day. I was in jail for 1 day. And so during that day, it was a no-show, and I didn't show up for work because I was in jail. And, I didn't have his number memorized. So, and here's the fucked up part, is that the court said after that point we couldn't talk to each other anymore, me and my girlfriend. And it was a thing that was she didn't know that was going to be that big of a deal. So we just, I could say it now, but back then I would never say that because we weren't supposed to talk. So I was just pretending to the world that we weren't talking to each other, but we were still hanging out. We were still doing what we do, hanging out over here, hanging out over there, but kind of looking out just in case we get spotted by the cops. So we're on the dodge. And it was, it's we're hiding our relationship from the cops now. And it's it's this thing that shouldn't have got that far, and it did. And then also I got, in trouble for hanging out with her too, because that's, the court puts a restraining order, mandatory, no matter what. Even if she's no, don't do that. Even if she said she tried this too. She started saying I'm pregnant. We need to hang out with each other. We need to see each other. He needs to be in my life. The court's no, we got this. It's the government versus you both. And so we tried to maintain a relationship after that. But I mean, that's something you don't really want to hide for too long. So, we got caught doing that too. So, so through all that shit, Gavin was supportive enough to be I understand. And I didn't have his number. If I did, I would have called him and told him that I couldn't have made it into work. But it was just something that's my first brush with the law. That fight that I got into that one time in New Paltz at that bar, the cops were there and they were just just go home. And I was bombed. And they were just just drive home.
This is when you got the sack.
Huh?
This is when you got the sack.
Yeah, and it was for a weekend, but on the next day afterwards, I was told, I was it's gonna be okay. But don't tell Gavin that we told you, but you're gonna be okay. And I was thank God, because I don't want my whole fucking life to crumble down over something that's really retarded. Yeah. And so,
one punch on can ruin everything.
Oh no! Well, this was a bit more complicated story. I don't know if you're.
I missed it.
Yeah, I remember when you applied, and it was man, but the dynamic of the show was going to change, and just you can't just get some other guy to be the whipping boy. This is your whipping boy,
and John's a great guy. The guy that stepped in, he was working at Compound Media with Gavin for years, for when Gavin was doing that show, the Gavin McInnes show at Compound. So it's not he was he's probably better than I am. He is better than I am at tech. He taught me everything I knew. But that dynamic was a little gone. There was a little too much, there's not a whipping boy with him because the guy knows his stuff. It's you could yell at a mechanic that's kind of fucking shit up every now and then, but you like the guy. But if the guy knows what he's doing and he's super legit, it's you're probably not going to rag on him as much. And so I was the mechanic that fucks shit up a lot and makes mistakes. So I deserve getting ragged on. I really do. Sometimes I really do. Just say retarded shit or Google shit retarded, and I deserve to be the whipping boy. But John
it's
wouldn't.
It's watching the wrestling bot. You
smart.
know how you have the heel and you have the baby face?
Absolutely.
So you have to have that.
I'm a fan. I was a fan of wrestling.
You gotta have that tension. It's creating the poetic story.
If you were too good at your job on a technical level, we wouldn't even know who you are.
That's a great point.
You wouldn't have that almost theatrical. It's almost like a like a interplay and a drama.
Yeah, it feels like you're in the room with us, kind of.
Yeah, because like you he's telling you to do something, you haven't quite got it or whatever, and he's getting annoyed.
Do you know what
that,
the best part of it? But it's like it's anti-political correctness because that's what real life's like. Like at my work, my boss will be like, "You're a fucking stupid cunt, for fuck's sake," and then I'll just be like, "I'm the best fucking worker here, cunt."
Yeah.
And he'll just be like, "I'm gonna fucking sack you tomorrow," and I'll be like,
when I used to work in kitchens, it was way more brutal. Like a head chef yelling at you it's way more brutal than any abuse I've ever gotten from Gavin, and he's fair. And I just got to get better at Googling, because like that's been like the latest trend of me fucking up is like, the mind reader shit. I don't really pay any attention to, because it's like, why aren't you looking that up yet? It's because sometimes I look shit up and you say, why are you looking that up? That's retarded. And then sometimes it's like, why aren't you looking that up? So it's kind of like a shit shoot there. Yeah. That I don't know. So I just kind of got to vibe it out. And
just drink beers on the job.
I don't really drink. This is the first time I drink in a while.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I don't, because I'm just alone like a lot. So I don't like drinking alone, because I have to, at any moment I need to look at a computer and do some bullshit. So
yeah, true.
I hate looking at computers when I'm bummed or doing shit. I
guess I don't drink alone because I drink with everyone on the internet. So it's like,
that sounds like a guy who's drinking alone.
I'm a justified. No, but I'm drinking with Port. I'm drinking with you. I'm literally drinking live with people.
Can I get one more beer and take a slash? Is that what they call it?
Yeah. Fucking take a slash.
Slash.
Yeah.
Slash.
We're going to take a slash.
You fucking... You're becoming a true blue Aussie cunt.
I still got you on my headphones. I can hear you, but I can't talk.
Sure.
Right. Fuck yeah. What a stupid idiot. No, it's joke. I've totally neglected
very exciting guest. Like, I've listened to loads of the Gavin show, and the dynamic between these guys is hilarious. It's a classic comedy duo in a way,
Don't you reckon like political correctness now in the form that we have it
wouldn't allow that as a form of comedy? Because that would be
creating. It's detaching people from the reality of being a worker or working in a team or even playing sports. Like you banter, the captain is always the captain of the footy team's like, you can't fuckhead, you do this, do that. Oh, you fucked up.
Yep.
Like, this is concreting, whatever we're doing. I built my fence in my backyard the other week. And we were just slinging shit on each other the whole time. It was just a shit show. Like it was, and then at the end of the job, I was like, I'm paying you $200 less than you asked because you're a fuckhead and the whole fence is fucked. And he's like, the fence is perfect. I'm like, I love you. And I'm paying you $200 less than.
Then I'm buying you $200 less.
It's setting people up. This is the thing, man. Do you know why? Like, this is the thing, how political correctness is setting white people up to win more in the future. Because we're allowed to put shit on each other, right? Yeah. We're like this, with this subclass of people, and we're allowed to banter. We're allowed to, like, call each other fuckheads. We're allowed to, like, the right, like, look at what we've done, Port. There's, like, tension, or we're arseholes to each other on the right in Telegram and everything, right? But it's making us harder and tougher and stronger. It's finding us. It's like we're in a battle, even internally, but on the left, they don't even have that. It's like this fake reality where all they do is we get angry and they roll up in a ball and cry.
A couple of things. Yes, I agree. The right conservatives are being forced to innovate, are being forced to be strong to survive.
We're the new Jews.
That is very different to the left, which is basically the cultural establishment. Even if they're not in government, they seem to run all the institutions. So they don't need to be strong or innovative to survive, and that makes them weaker. And not only does that make them weaker, but their culture makes them weaker, because that kind of banter, between Ryan and Gavin, where he's literally being racial with you. I've seen it happen. They wouldn't allow anything like that in their dynamics. And I think being in the left or being in a leftist realm is like living in fear. And when you're living in fear, you can't be yourself. And when you can't be yourself, you can't speak the truth, and you can't innovate from a place like that. You can't contribute anywhere near as much as you could if you could be truthful. So like calling your friend a fucking idiot, or I have Greek friends, I'll call them wogs. I love it.
Do you remember the
life.
episode of Family Guy? And he's like, and son, I really want to take you to the Irish History Museum, and it's like them like bashing his wife. It's like a guy like smashing his wife, and then he's like, the Irish were advanced civilization, and it's like floating cars and shit. And then he's like, and then they're like in the laboratory, and then they're like, oh, we've created this new drink. It's called whiskey. And then they go, and then they're like, and they're just bashing each other. And I watched that and I laughed my head off. I'm Irish ancestry, half of myself is Irish. I laughed my ass off. I was like, that's fucking hilarious. So if you're a black person or a gay or a woman and you can't laugh at yourself, you're a pathetic fucking loser.
You have no humility.
You're a fuckhead.
If you can't laugh at yourself, you take life too seriously, you take yourself too seriously, there goes your ego. If your ego is up high and really there's nothing to back it up, you just feel yourself getting chipped down because it's all stacked on bullshit.
Yeah.
You're just a fucking... No, but that's a great point about also, Port, that you brought up, that they don't exist in the system of politics, and they're not really represented with all these cultural things. They're kind of just like on the sidelines of the game. They're like critics. Like there's a basketball game happening, there's people sweating, dribbling the ball, shooting, blocking, pushing, fouling, whatever. And then you got these critics on the side that are just like, no, that's not nice. That's you, just stop. You, then him, did that. It's like just a bunch of critics, weak critics that have actually never been shoulder checked in their life. And it's like, of course they're weaker. And of course it's not fun. They're not a part of the riffing, like going back and forth.
But unfortunately, they are critics where they're in positions of power, either in the media or in different, lobby groups or government departments, and they have influence. Unfortunately, there lies the problem. Is that they're critics, but they're unelected. They're not organically coming from the people through democracy or popular will. This is something sort of imposed upon us from the top.
It's manufactured. You know what it's like? It's like the teacher's pet. It's like right now, it's like going totally against Darwinism, totally against the strongest will survive. It's like weakness and victimhood is actually the best thing you want to be. You want to be the bronze medal. If you have the bronze medal, then people put their arm over your shoulder and be like, dude, you had a good game. And you're like, no, I don't know. And they're like, yeah, no, you didn't. Dude, it's pathetic. It's literally like the weakest, the smallest amount of people. Trans people, I don't know if you know this, they make up 0.01% of the population or something like that. Yeah. They're still people. They still matter. Okay, I get that. But why is that being pumped into my brain when I don't know?
I had Bible studies in this house, and we had 2 trannies and a gay guy.
Wow.
Yeah, what? 2 trannies and a gay guy. And it was just like...
it's a sitcom.
Like seeing him at church, And I'm like, fuck yeah, sweet, blah, blah, blah. I'll pick you up. We got a Bible study. My missus will make dinner for everyone. And there's like 20 people in my house. And I like pick the trannies up and the gay up. And I'm like, just so you know, but like, I'm going to not capitulate from the Bible.
Yeah.
I'm never going to capitulate from my value structure.
I bet they were like,
and that's totally
fine, but just never burp like that in front of us again. That's gross.
Yeah.
The way you just burped. Yeah. The way you just burped.
They were like happy as fuck. They were like, yeah, all good. And then like they would ring me and be like, are you going to come pick us up?
You know
like
what?
Every week they were like, yeah.
Michael Jackson.
I was like, no worries. And like, I don't know. Even the gay dude still calls me. The trannies are like, all good, man. Like they did not care. I'd be like, bang, bang. This is what we need to do.
That's why that fucking social justice shit doesn't work on us, because like you're a bad person. So, no, I'm not. I talk to fucking people just like that all the time, and I don't make it a big deal. Like I talk to them. We're bringing it up now just to prove the fact that we engage with them. It doesn't matter.
But this is the thing, bro. The real trannies and the real gays and the real blacks. These are the people we do what we live our lives with them, and they're normal is not enough, and they're not fuckheads, but they've been co-opted by the 0 point. Like even though the tranny movement or the gay movement might be like a minority, but there's a minority in a minority, and they are the real fuckheads.
Yeah. And
even the minority in the minority are like, they're probably they are the Marxists who are in that. So every percentage of the population, there's like
and they get to
white, black, gay, tranny, and then you go like, oh, okay, and there's only 1%, 2% gay, 0.1 tranny, and then you're like, what percentage of that percentage is Marxist? And you're like 0.000, and then you go, they're all the squeaky wheel. So everyone has a percentage of fuckhead. We all have a percentage of fuckhead in our demographic.
And they're being literally promoted, and it's making us divide. It's making us divided because it's like, dude, I'm telling you, when we push these trannies on you, this is what's going on in the world, and it makes you kind of angry because you're like, really? I mean, like that's a lot of power for a little.
The trannies do not even care. They don't even want anything to do with it.
Gays don't like that shit. Like I don't even like
blacks don't care. Aboriginals don't care.
Milo or Chadwick, I don't see them as gay. I don't look at them because I remember being around gay kids like in high school and shit. You're just like gay. It's like a disease or something where you're just kind of like there's something about you that I don't like. I just think he's just super British.
Everyone I thought who was gay at school, I was like, that dude's fucking all them chicks. That's all I thought.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, he's playing the ultimate game, and he's nailing them all.
That's fourth and he's like thinking right there. Because Jesse Nunziato, for me, he was like, I was like, why is he hanging out with Kelsey, Katie, and fucking whatever the other?
He was nailing her.
No, he wasn't.
This is the problem of growing up in 2005 in the sweet spot of just before Jesus comes back and nukes the planet. No, I'm joking.
Dude, I
was just like that cunt. I thought I was a stud.
Yeah.
And he was just like, the gays would be like, fuck yeah.
This guy's getting so much
like, this fucker's the biggest slayer on fucking the school, man.
Fingers girls to completion so much that his wrists actually, like the tendons broke. He has to walk around like this.
He has to go to he finishes school and he's on a disability pension.
Yeah, he eats out girls so often that his tongue is lazy, and he's like, guys, if you want to go like shopping, he wants to go shopping because he knows that's how he gets more pussy. This guy's a pussy addict. I feel bad for this guy. He's just walking around like, you guys want to go shopping? That guy's killing it. Jesse, I'm sorry I ever doubted you.
Yeah, all the gays. See, 2005 gays were studs. They were like sexual Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah. Well, they're more like a Megasaurus. All right, and it's been a great show. No,
I just have to say this because I keep thinking of saying it, but the conversation moves so quickly. I think it's really important to point out that Black Lives Matter never had anything to do with race. This was communism all along. If it wouldn't matter what the races are, it would be using whatever way to divide the country it could. That's what it's doing. It's 100%. This is not about race. It's not.
It's about communist fuckheads.
Yeah, these are leftists that needed a large group of people to burn cities down, so they used the blacks like pawns to do that. The blacks have some legitimate grievances and issues that are very easy to exploit.
And they've been taught this their entire life in school.
Absolutely. Like, this is a long time in the making. This is the long march into institutions. This is not something.
I didn't go to school, so this is where like I feel like I went like.
Maybe.
I was
there for all the wrong reasons.
Me too. Yeah.
I used to be a leftist, and I know what it's like to think that person's a monster because they don't think like me. I know what it's like to think, wow, this person isn't part of the mission to make the world perfect. But I realized so much of what I was living was a fantasy. It was an absolute fantasy and would never actually happen. But it felt good. It felt good to think it. And it felt good to think I was better than other people. And you know what? I found myself as a
religious Pharisee.
Absolutely. As a leftist, I found that I was hating the working class more than anybody else because they were the ones that would say a racist joke or whatever. It's so funny. And then I realized, wait a minute, how can I be a leftist and hate the proletariat? How does that work? And then it all just crumbled down. It all crumbled down.
Yeah. And it's weird that it's like, how does everybody not have that same logic where it's like you start looking around, you're like, these are my neighbors I'm talking about. I mean, I don't know the people making these rules, but like the fact that I'm following blindly to have disdain against people that are, let's say that they are wrong. Okay, let's say as a leftist that everybody else is wrong. Do you treat people that are wrong with disdain and disgust like that? No, like wisdom has a really kind built-in virtuosity to it where you want to share it with people. Like if you have a fact, you want to share it with people. You say, dude, check out what I learned. Like, look at it when it's not racially charged or socially charged. When you're like, no, actually, if you take too much aspirin, you'll die. It's like, oh shit, I've been taking more so that way my headache would go away. It's like, no, it's actually really dangerous. Oh shit, that's a fact. Everybody acknowledge that's a fact. Wisdom wants to spread itself, but what's going on right now, it's like this forceful, like opinions equal fact. I talked to these Marxists like in the bar the other day, and I was like, so, what do you hate about Trump or whatever the fuck? And the beginning of the conversation was that he's a fascist and a dictator or whatever. And then at the end of it, I was asking them their proposition of how to make the world Marxist and socialist. I was like, there's going to be a lot of people that don't agree with what you're saying. So like, how do you, he's like, well, they just need to be educated. I was like, but that's based on what you think. So like, you want to stand on the top of the world with a bullhorn and tell everybody what's what? And he's like, yeah, if I could.
It's like that sounds like a orange, dictator. Bro.
It sounds like a dictator. It sounds like a fascist. That's what that sounds like. Because right now in America, you can believe whatever you want.
They'll strap you into your chair with 2 toothpicks in your eyes and be like,
yeah. I've not
reprogram you.
Get the reference.
Yeah.
Basically, the left, and what I realized was I had become an elitist. And that's what these people are. They're elitists. Yeah. And they have great disdain for the common person. And all you need to do is look at communist regimes and see how they actually treat common people. Wow. I worked in a video shop, and I had a customer who was a Cambodian, and his mum came in and said, "Oh, it's so good you have this shop, for my son to go to." You know, when I was young, before, you know, leaving Cambodia, things were so bad. They killed a quarter of their population. She saw just babies being picked up and just bashed against a tree to kill.
Whoa.
You know,
Whoa.
this is what communism does. And you have all these leftists with hammers and sickles thinking this is all fine. But like,
fucking scum.
It's really quite sad that communism has sort of been normalized to an extent, that it's been accepted. Rage Against the Machine with Che Guevara t-shirts, sort of popularizing things when I was young. You know, I think that communism has had a past. Like, communism's gotten away scot-free in a way that the Germans haven't, because we went in a direct hot war with them. But with communism was always playing the long game. Was always playing the, you know, that they were happy to just work in a different way, like win the war in a different way, and to win it culturally. And that's why the United States is not being attacked by an outside country directly. It's happening from within, because it's being subverted.
That's what happens with England too. It's like, I swear to God, I was looking at England. I was like, I'm so glad we live in America. And look now, you know, it's the same shit. I was scared. I was looking at England. I was like, imagine what it's like to live in England, and you got these fucking knife acid attacks, you know, total discord in the streets, or I don't even know. Actually, discord is a word, but you got
fucked up.
Yeah, and it's just like this
I just
identity of the
that
place,
shit, bro. The stuff that I've heard coming out of the UK with the
It's globalist.
rape gangs and the fucking acid attacks.
It is globalist right now, because in America this is happening, in England it's already been happening, in Sweden, in Germany it's already been happening. We've heard about it before, and now it's here. It's global. It's totally global. The George Floyd protest, global. Any reason possible. You give one martyr to them, it's just happening. You just got to arm yourself. I mean, because at this point,
but do you think
there's no logic?
Thing I'm thinking about. This is something I think about. This. So we're like the Magna Carta, the American Constitution, right? The West is built on the empowerment of the individual. Right? It was built for a Christian. And it was for the empowerment of the Christian individual, right? And that's where we fucked up, because the individual, if you're true individualism, we can go any way we want. But here's the thing. Tomorrow I go, the whole Middle East, who's under Sharia law, and I go, I just take away Sharia law and I give them freedom. Or I go, China, we're taking away your communism. They're in a way worse spot than the West. Like, in the West, we're fucking around, and we've got all these fuckheads who are voluntarily fuckheads, right? I'm voluntarily a Christian. I'm voluntarily a proud boy. I'm voluntarily what I am. I've chosen this. No one's told me this. This is who I am.
I see where you're going.
So I'm looking at the West, and I'm like, everyone here is genuinely voluntarily what they are saying or doing. And heap of fuckheads, a lot of proportion of fuckheads. Like, the fuckhead slice of the pie is pretty big. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying, like, let's do that to the Middle East, where there's Islamic fucking Sharia law dictators. Let's do that to Asia, where there's fucking communist hellholes, like Prison Planet communist shitholes. Lift that thin veil, or the veil of control, off, and what would happen to their society? Like, the thing is, our society is probably doing pretty good. Really, no one's doing what we're doing. We are unique. Everyone else, it's like, they're doing it so well. It's like, Prison Planet is doing well. Okay, Sharia law Prison Planet or communist Prison Planet. They've got it. Such a good fucking society. It's not a good society. It's fucking Prison Planet.
And furthermore, these people that have been so oppressed, like, what would they even do with freedom? it might be worse than what we could even imagine under the tyranny that they existed under.
They would agree with us. They'd become Proud Boys. They'd be like Western chauvinists.
You know what? I have enough faith in people and humanity and the collective as a whole that winds up leaning its way towards like wisdom and virtue. That you're right. It would lead that, but something about that kind of seems weird. Where it's like, let's say a child. I mean, on a microcosmic level, probably the most microcosmic you can get without, departing from humanity. You get a father who's in a mother who's taught this kid this fucked up way of life, and then you remove them. The kid still thinks that fucked up way of life. It would have to be a generation or so. Then again, what if the kid's a rebel? And here's the thing: if you have 5 kids, that's where this gets from microcosmic to exactly what you're talking about, where you just take off the fucking oppression of the Middle East. Because there's going to be people in that family. Let's say there's 5 kids, right? And they all raise them to say, "Hey, you got to kill squirrels," or something. Then you take the parents away. You're like, "Fuck these parents." Now these kids are on their own. If there's 5 kids, maybe 3 of them will be like, "This whole squirrel killing shit is a little bogus," and they won't do that. But maybe 2 of them will be still radicalized and be like, "No, we gotta kill squirrels. We gotta." The more people you add to that, aka the Middle East or China or people that are oppressed by some government, the more likelihood there is that they will wind up like us with Western values, because freedom is a natural thing where it's like, and questioning power is a natural thing. Your parents, who you trust and you love and they love you, they wiped your ass when you were a little vulnerable baby. They held you and shit like that. You trusted them and you still rebel against your parents. So that rebellion is natural in everybody, that questioning, that critical thinking. So I think you're right. If you remove that oppression from them, they will eventually come to like, I want
maybe
freedom.
They become normal cunts, but like, maybe they become normal thinking. And like, there's a certain amount of like, the parents will go, "We're free. Like, we're free from this. I can't believe it." Like little Jimmy, and they'll be like a Muslim, and they go, like it was forced on them, and they'll be like, "Oh, I still value some parts of that religion. Like, I actually enjoy religion or routine and culture and community and architecture and art." It's like, thanks Islam for that cool stuff, but now I'm becoming a Christian. Or like, I think like I wouldn't like write. See, the thing is, Chinese culture or Islamic or Middle Eastern culture, there's good parts of that.
Sure.
If it was voluntary, it would probably become a better version of it as well.
Yeah.
Like, imagine like voluntary. Now we live in a voluntary Christian society, right?
Yeah, but
and I think we're kind of getting better
out of it though. Like, that's the thing. Like, this is where I think this is way more complicated, because yes, we come from a Christian society historically, but now that it's not, that there's not societal pressure to be a Christian, people are opting out. And also, when we start looking at other cultures and saying we are superior, look, I'm not a supporter of the Chinese Communist Party, and I do not want to adopt their system in any way. However, it's okay to say there's 2 genders over there. There's a whole bunch of freedoms that they have and take for granted that we no longer have. So I think it's way more complicated. Like, and what's happening right now, what we enjoy in the West is residual Christianity. Our civilization is based on Christianity, and it's fantastic, but it's been erased very quickly. And all the good things that we enjoy are residual. They're from the past. And we're not returning to it.
I voluntarily interact with Christianity and Christian culture. So the thing is, my life is bolstered voluntarily. I'm just surrounded by good families and good people, and fucking, it's amazing. Like, it's amazing. Like, my life is amazing.
It's very true it's ingrained in there, but it's not practiced, and it's not reiterated, and it's not.
Eventually you lose it. Eventually, it disappears like a story.
Yeah, I'm losing it right now. I know I'm not being a great Christian. I know that. I know every time, and it's a burden. You know why? It's because it's a responsibility. Every responsibility is a burden, and it's hard to do the things that are right. And we're all kind of getting lazier, and then this generation right now. I mean, if there are kids that are Christian and that really mean it and that really care about it, I mean, I haven't met many of them, and it's going away. It's the fabric that created, like you said, this what we have.
I'm a Christian. I keep saying I'm a Christian, and I'm always just ripping beer bongs. I'm like the forefront of Australian Christianity. I'm like, yeah, do a beer bong and having a beer and like reading the Bible or something.
Yeah.
It's like this is what Christianity is now.
It sucks, but I've always wondered. This is more of a spiritual thing. A quick aside is that I wondered if there's forgiveness for the people that have had no chance to indulge in anything but ignorance. Because like, let's say a person that would totally obey by the commandments.
If they had my life.
Let's not go too far.
C.S. Lewis speaks about this in Mere Christianity. C.S. Lewis, who wrote Narnia?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So Narnia, the movie, fucking good movie. Watch it. And it's
the lion
symbolically.
Yeah.
It's like all of it. So the thing is like the whole thing is symbolically tied into the Bible. Like if you don't know the Bible well, like, if I tell you about the Garden of Eden and like freedom of will and this freedom to engage in right and wrong and good and evil, it's like the first engagement when they come through the wardrobe
is that,
and then the Ice Queen comes and the Ice Queen comes and she's like, "Oh, you can have some fucking Turkish delight."
It's a snake.
Yeah. You can have some Turkish delight, and so the thing is, it's all like metaphorically like woven into the story, and then you're like, this is fucking symbolically representative of reality.
Is she
but if you understand it, you can.
I guess so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because she is like the devil character of the thing. I watched it not too long ago. I didn't like it, but and she releases the wolves. Yeah, she's like the Wicked Witch of the West. That's what I linked it to. But as you mentioned, that the lion is the Jesus character. He literally resurrects after being shaken.
Yeah. And the Turkish delight is the the apple from the tree, I suppose.
Yeah.
I never read it, and I never saw the movie, but there was a TV series when I was a kid, and I loved it. I loved getting home after school and watching it. It was very exciting, and I do know that it is basically a Christian parable, I guess.
And so, like, that's the thing about Christianity. It's actually the meaning of it that becomes reality in your heart and mind.
And so it's undetachable. And so like that was my parable. It's where like a guy in the woods without any access to the Bible, without any access to the church, without any rosary, without any prayers in mind, without any prophets or saints that he can call to and think about, but he lives a life that is worthy of heaven. Does that guy get saved? And he does. In my mind, he always does.
He does.
Without question.
C.S. Lewis said in Mere Christianity, it's kind of like the proposition is like that it's like the guy in Afghanistan or North Korea. And it's like God goes, oh, well, fucking, Muhammad in fucking Afghanistan, if he had Dusty's life, he would have been the next Billy Graham. But the thing is, he didn't have that life. And Dusty had a life in the West, and it's this free world. And I'm like, yo, I'm a Christian, whatever. I've read all these Christian books. But the thing is, So is God going to judge us by the potential of our character? You know what I mean? So it's like he'll say, like, understandably, Dusty had this life in a free Western nation, but this dude who's born in North Korea, who was like fucking had no opportunity to do voluntarily interact with these ideas. But if he lived Dusty's life, he would have been a Christian. Like, so that
because God
there's
knows.
That proposition is actually put out in Mere Christianity in C.S. Lewis' book.
Right.
And
that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Because
so I think that book
this guy
is,
not to cut you off, but like, was this a person that was just too oppressed by the shittiness of his environment to earn his way to heaven because he's confined? But
we're living in the same kind of mental prison now. Like, we live in a prison of destruction now.
Let's see, you are Dusty here, and you are Dusty in like North Korea, and they make you do shit that is against the Bible and sinful and whatever. Let's say they make you.
Go, no, I'm not going.
Exactly. You choose death. You choose death because heaven awaits. Yeah. That's period.
Yeah, so they could be like longing. Imagine if you're just like a dude in North Korea and you're like, nah, I reckon like they're living life in reality. They're just going, you know, they're looking out through their five senses in the meat suit and they're just going, I'm pretty sure this reality I'm living in, I think there's something more. I think there's like something that created this. Right. That seems to me like they could have that could be rational.
Absolutely. I have faith in that. Yeah.
It could be like, I glitched out. But like that person's mindset could be like, there's no way I'm going to, and then instinctively they go, no fucking way, man. Like, I know what is right and wrong. Like, it's like the golden rule. So the golden rule is do to others. It's consciousness, man.
Christianity and God isn't learned. We all share the same God. There is no belief. There is the truth. And then that's period. And we all know it. We all know that it's what it's like when you don't have to, if we never learned English and your mother and father gave birth to you and a sister, you're like, I'm not gonna be attracted or fuck my sister. That's number one. I'm not gonna kill my sister. I'm not gonna kill my mother. I'm not gonna steal that guy's shit. It's kind of just all like, but there are flaws in the system.
The treat others. So the thing, like, maybe there's like that golden rule that is treat others how you would like to be treated. So
Can I scare you real quick?
Self-awareness.
Can I scare you real quick? So now Milo says a lot of stuff that I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Some of the stuff that he says, that's pretty much how I define Milo. It's like, wow, that's awesome and true, and wow, that's funny. He posted something on Parler the other day, and usually it's 90% funny. He posted a thing that said, Satan is real. And it's some footage of like protests and stuff like that and what have you. And it's like, wow. No, like he really is. Like he really is. It's really dark. It's really dark. There's people really putting their lives out, like just as satanic as
the devil's an SJW, man. Like even what we know of the devil from the Bible, like
he preys on weakness.
Well, let's think of the Bible like Narnia. Like, so if God gave us Narnia, right? And he goes, I'm giving you Narnia. And through Narnia, there's the metaphorical truths of understanding the spirit realm and transcendent. Like, there's a multiverse and there's layers of fucking existence and dimensions and all this shit. And he's like, but I want you to understand who I am, reality, and what you're doing. He says, I'm giving you Narnia. And through this book, you have to understand it.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So the thing is like, who the fuck is if we can even read the Bible and understand who the devil is, he is like an SJW. he is like one of these left-wing, bitter fuckheads.
Yeah, and he
Like, he's one of
weaponizes.
the-
You know what God does? God digs from the pulpits and he lifts up. You know, the pits. No, he picks from the pits, not the pulpits. So he raises people up when they're low, and the devil snatches people up when they're low. Weakness is such a, I would guess. I mean, if let's say we were all, let's say there were only like one quarterback to every 10 people, and somebody's got to be the leader. You know what I mean? And it's like there are followers out there, and we're witnessing right now with everything that's going on with the protests and people that are, and here, these are followers. These are people that are weak and people that lack. I
gotta piss so bad.
Judgment.
I gotta go, man.
No, go.
I'm gonna piss my pants.
Can you still hear me if you go? I'll repeat it if you come back. If I actually stumble my way,
hang on. I'll get.
If I stumble my way onto something important, I will repeat it, but I doubt it.
No, I'll watch it. I'll watch it on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
all good.
So the thing is,
like transcendent. Fuck. Is my mic fucking with the sound?
So the thing is, like,
what the fuck? Is my mic fucking with? Hang on, sorry.
It is.
I think it's okay if you're using that to go to the toilet with.
Anyway, we're going into the transcendent metaphorical, and which is good. And I'm being a cunt and being like, I need to piss. The meat suit is not doing good.
You know why I'm most comfortable here is because we have to battle literal, logically retarded people when it comes to facts. Facts that are cold.
I'm out. I'm listening on my phone, but
all good. So mathematics are boring. I fucking hate math, and logic is math. And we battle these SJWs. We battle Antifa and the people that riot under the guise of BLM. We battle them with logic all the time. It's kind of boring because it's so rigid.
Yeah,
I'm a creative person. I like music. I write music. So this is kind of the place where we're interpreting the Bible in a place that needs to be interpreted so strongly, because we live in a weird fucking time right now where everything is being questioned, structure is being questioned and everything like that. And there's a lot of things in structure in our systems that we should question, but the fundamentals are this: is that there's a right, there's a wrong, there's no gray matter. They keep trying to sneak pedophilia in this gray matter where it's like, it's kind of okay. Men are women, women are men, up is down, whatever. The things that remain true are this, is that be kind to each other and don't worry about what each other does. You don't judge other people, and that's being lost. When we lose Christianity, I think the main thing that we're losing is judging other people. You can call it Karens, you can call it, like whatever the fuck you want, but everybody's, involved in everybody else's stuff, and there's always room for self-improvement, and it's a real blind spot. It's a real distraction to be worried about others.
It's like being in a communist country like Romania or East Germany, where you have everyone reporting on everyone else. So, this person said this on social media. It's a self-police. Like, the thing is, it's self-policing at this point.
Yeah.
So many people are infected with this. And what you said earlier about leadership, that's become a problem because I think men are naturally the best leaders when we're speaking generally. But when you have made men into villains, and if they show any form of leadership, it's suddenly toxic masculinity. That means that they can no longer lead us.
Yeah, it's perfect.
We can no longer be led. So when you talked about structures being torn down, that's what's enabled everything that's happening now, is that those structures that worked. They worked perfectly. Like, as those have been torn down, that's enabled everything that we're seeing now. Because men are afraid, like a woman sits on the bitumen with open legs at a protest, and she's seen as a heroic, which in archetypal terms is like the least feminine, least maternal. In a female archetype term, it's a failure. But that's now seen as leadership. When men,
it's emulating masculinity.
Yeah, but it's failing. It's a bit like female comedians. Some of them are really good, but I find the majority are about the level of a 12-year-old boy.
Just
about,
It's always this cutesiness. It's always the cutesiness.
Or very crude vagina
Sarah Silverman at her peak. Yeah. You're right. It's a 12-year-old boy.
Look, the Australian women's soccer team, I believe, played a high school boys team and lost like 8-0.
Wow.
It's the same thing as the soccer nuts. There are things that women are better, are superior at, but it's not soccer, it's not comedy, and it's not leadership.
No, you're right. It's not even that funny. Funny is an aha moment where you laugh at something because it's true. Like, Gavin ripped on my face. He's like, "What is your face?" It's like 5 faces in one face. Like, and then go to your face. And I went to my camera and I looked at myself. I was like, laughed my ass off. Well, I only laugh because that's so true. The thing is, the emulation of masculinity, it's not that. Here's the thing that they admit when they're doing this. We're like, I'm as strong as a man. You're admitting that the man's strength is ideal. It is a thing that you reach to. It's the pinnacle. That's okay. But when you start saying that, my femininity, me as a female, I thought the other day, I was like, I'm so lucky to be a man. I wouldn't say that if I was a woman. If I was a woman, I'd be like, I'm so lucky to be a woman. You have to, a common thread that lies through this, ingratefulness. Let's say I am a black person. Let's say I fully believe that I was a slave and my people were treated like shit. If I have a direct connection with God, I'm the child of the king above, and he created me, and I'm a perfect vessel for everything that he ever wanted to push through. And I don't care what this cruel world wants to impart upon me. I am complete. I am perfect, and I will earn my way into heaven. There's nothing anybody could ever tell me otherwise. And with that contact, that loss from the
they don't want you to believe that. They don't want anyone to believe that.
Yeah,
if you believe that, you've broken all, like, this is when you've broken the left and the right wing's power. None of them have power off you. Right.
Yeah, because the right wing, and we're big on this. The fact is, when you lose your father and your father's not in your life, you have a higher propensity for shit. We know the stats, and we love stats on the right. But that stat is the one that gets in my crawl, because it's like, despite that, if you have a father and you know who that true father is, and you don't even got to say who it, that's the thing. So, what's funny is that the right says, a bunch of stats, and the stat is that fatherless homes have more propensity to create like serial killers, rapists, and just shitty people.
Just gangmen.
Yeah, true. People that are looking for a father figure, maybe in the wrong places. It's a roll of the dice where that father figure will come in, and they will pledge their allegiance to whoever that father figure is. But people on the right typically have a relationship with God and faith. And so that's why it's not mostly people on the right without fathers that go into these worlds, because there is a father for everybody, whether you have a physical one or not, whether he cuts hair in LA or not. I have a dad, by the way. He's pretty cool. He surfs, he rides motorcycles. I have a real dad. Okay, so we need to change the mailbag song. But people on the right have this. It really is this. You never feel alone. I don't feel alone. I don't really ever feel bored. If I feel bored, I feel not grateful. And that's what the women trying to be men thing is. It's like this not gratefulness. Dude, if I was a woman, I'd be like, I'm going to be a woman. I'm going to try to be a dude.
And like, I think, so like in my marriage, I feel like I'm pretty masculine and my wife's very feminine, right? Like, not feminist, feminine. Like, she's a beautiful woman. And now she's got my baby growing inside her. And like, there's so many things where my wife is just this like amazing compliment on my life. Like, it's just this powerful
Yeah.
It's like you get real masculinity and feminism the way God made it to be, and you fucking bring that together, and you just like, you're both together like, we created this thing. We're like, it's in the oven.
Yeah.
And like, we've been together for 12 years.
Oh, it's awesome.
13 years. Married for 8 years. And so
Damn.
it's like,
Nice. Oh, that's great numbers.
yeah,
bro.
yeah. And
Hell
it's
yeah.
like, we're fucking like, and I am who I am. Like, this is me.
Right.
I am who I am. And she
Yeah.
loves me. And she is this like woman
Full
who
woman.
helps me
Hell yeah.
all the time, like just helping me.
Mhm.
And be like, she'll be like, that person's a fucking idiot. Fuckhead, 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 fuckhead.
Yeah.
And like, she has this insight and feministic like superpowers, like creating life. And there's a few other different superpowers that they
They
have.
see the world a completely different way.
Yeah, they see it in a fucking
They
way
help you.
different
They're like your
way.
guardrail. I'm the bowling ball. There's a world that is a bundle of pins, and they're the guardrail. It's like,
Yeah.
when
And
you
like,
have a chick in the world, you're bumper bowling. It's hard to go wrong. Unless
and
the
you're good
bumper's
as gold. Like, as a guy, I love the boys and beers with the boys.
Mhm.
And we don't need any women in that. Like, Proud Boys once fucking every, I don't know, month, every 2 weeks we go on for beers, and it's just the boys. It's just the boys. No women allowed. No women are.
Yeah.
I don't want.
You know
anyone.
why? Because there's no.
If
When
there's a
hanging out with
woman
the
around.
boys, there's no consequence, and you can't live a complete life like that. You just can't.
You can't.
You want to be responsible
it's
for
good to
every
be-
fart. If you fart and you burp, you want to have somebody there who's like, it matters. What you do matters. The air that comes out of your fucking asshole matters to somebody. You don't want to let them down. You don't want to disappoint them. You don't want to seem unattractive. You want to present yourself. I mean, like, I've gotten in a relationship
They
where
like
usually you start
domesticate
farting.
us. They domesticate the caveman.
Totally necessary. You're absolutely right.
And we want them and we love them, and then we're like, oh, and like, even the, like, you can be with the boys, you can have the beers, you can talk shit, but you want to go home to your woman, and like, this is the most powerful part of life. Like, it adds this powerful.
Real quick,
Yo,
you know what bothers me? Okay, so in my town, there's this guy who's super Christian, and he's my Verizon guy or whatever, in this town, not the one that I go to. And super Christian, invites me to Bible study all the time. I like this guy. He's a great dude. I want to hang out with him. But I don't see his flaw, and thus I don't see his humanity, because we're all struggling with some flaw and something that makes us be like, I need Christ because I am not perfect. I need help. I need guidance. I need strength. And just basically, I don't really trust somebody who hasn't shown it yet. That's why you need to see somebody do something that's just a little off kilter sometimes in order for you to trust them, because then you know that their flaw is maybe just a little bit of nose beers in the morning.
you're going all day.
Is this legal? You guys both, literally, I'm looking at both of you and you're both doing this. What are you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah, Australians look at people anyway all day.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a joke. I didn't know if it was like a.
Oh no,
like
oh no, yeah, it's a joke.
yeah. So I'm very straight edge. So like, I'm confused if this is part of like a part of a comedy.
No.
Like, I'm not happy until I've seen someone's flaws. Like that. Like, I get that as a joke. But
I decided to use the Coke as a perfect delivery for timing, but
yeah.
Here's the thing. This is full disclosure. I have no reason to lie. I don't give a fuck. I mean, I don't drink, like I said, because I don't like, and I was going to get into the dating apps thing because you were talking about relationships. I really want to get into that. This is a quick aside. So I got that because I was drinking at the bar the other night, And I was like, that's why I don't drink, because I just had to get Coke. It's like, that's retarded. And I've been doing intermittent fasting where I only eat 12 to 8. I got great self-control. No masturbation, no drinking, no smoking pot. I've had pot right there for fucking months. But when it comes to drinking, like, I like to do Coke because it keeps me up. Otherwise, I'll just fall asleep. And so I did buy some the other day, and it's like, this is new to my life. This isn't a thing I do. But I like it. Tastes good. I mean, I've done it before. But anyway, as far as the relationship goes,
stop doing it. Oh, that's my advice, bro.
Oh,
Don't take drugs. I mean, look.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely awful.
It's fun. Like,
it's not. I don't like Coke.
This is why I don't drink.
Because if I drink, I'm like, we're going, bro. Let's have a fun fucking night. And the thing is, beer slows me down. It really does make me like tired. And it's always when I'm having the most fun.
Of alcohol that you love, like there's like gin. There's some kind of cocktail of.
You know why? Could you go out and get Coke right now?
No, it's not very
My
common.
life's disconnected from all drugs. Like, I don't know.
But could you go out and get beers right now?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
So what requires the more self-control? Probably the beers. I don't do the beers. I don't drink. I mean, these have been in my fridge. Bro, I'm telling you. These have been in my fridge for months. I've been sitting here on this couch. I make myself some five and making music lately. I don't drink. But I want to have a nice chat with you guys, so I've been drinking, and I don't regret it. But this is an old bag. You know, I mean, a week ago I bought this and whatever, and I'm really cool about being like completely upfront about all the drugs I've tried because I don't have any habits. I don't have.
It reminds me of the time the guy shot his AK on the live.
Yeah, it's just been topped. Like the big movement.
You just topped it.
Just by doing a little bit of blues.
I
need to get another beer. I'm just going to roll and get another beer.
I'll just say, like, in Australia, we don't really have guns. And so we had Roots Calhoun on, an American who I think we said if you're $5 super chat, it means he needs to shoot his gun or something. And so someone paid it, and he shot it out of his door.
Topping another American is basically.
Yeah. And then cocaine is not a big thing really in Australia. Like, it's not very common. I've never actually encountered it or seen it in my life. This is the closest.
It doesn't make you feel like it doesn't make me feel like anything. It just keeps me up. When you've been drinking a good amount and you do a little blow, it's just like it's a weird taste and a sensation, and then you just kind of like are, a little more talkative. But this isn't recreational by any means. Like when you do a little bit of Coke, I don't know if this is good or not, but it makes you want to shit. It makes me want to shit. And so it's not a recreational thing.
McDonald's makes me want to shit.
Oh, no, yeah.
I shit like 5 times a day. So,
Jesus
I'm just like a shitting machine.
I'd take 3 very, very tops.
My missus is like, not again. And I'm like, what? But I eat a lot.
Every time you...
I don't know. I must be the most disgusting person on earth. I don't know how I've made it so far. I just like, I'd be like, even my brother the other day, I was talking to my brother and he was like, blah, 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 like pouring his heart out or something. And I'm just like, man, I'm fucking real sorry. I just got to take a shit. And he was just like, you're a fuckhead.
Just go.
He was just so disappointed in me,
Was that that helped you record?
Another brother.
Oh, you got. So how many siblings you got?
Two brothers.
Gosh,
they keep me fucking. Yeah, they keep me fucking busy, mate.
Both younger brothers or no?
Nah, one older, one younger. So there's like drama, like pouring in.
Yeah.
Transcendent. And then it's all good. I managed to keep it under control.
That's good. Port, how about you? Only child?
Only child, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I have only child syndrome, whatever that is.
What is that exactly? Because I'm an
I don't know. Like, you're a bit of an oddball, I guess.
Yeah.
But you think what you think is normal because you haven't been scrutinized by siblings.
No one's been a fuckhead to you all the time.
It's like an unchecked reality of your own. Yeah.
Yeah,
brothers just keep. I think like brothers, we give each other shit and keep fucking up all the time. So you're like someone's ahead of your fuck up.
Yeah, but you know why they do that? It's this competition thing. This is what I'm guessing is because just like we're talking about, a person that has full access to shit on another person is sharpening their stone. If you go unchecked, I wonder, and I don't know the data for this, but let's say two guys shitting on each other. Does that obviously that makes them compete, but does it really let somebody reach the potential that they were going to reach if they were unchecked? We don't know. Because if you're alone, the only child syndrome that I have is like I have full confidence in what I do. You could tell me my music sucks. Literally 300 people could be like, this song sucks. If I like it, it's a great song. So,
I've got Mormon missionaries out front of my house. Should we bring them on the live?
Really?
Yeah, bring them in. Are they at the front of your house?
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, we're outside your house," because I always any religious people that knock on my door, I'm not, because I've studied a lot of the Bible and different.
Sure.
I said, sorry, on
is it 7 p.m. for you guys right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
But I don't have a lot of room here. I'm like in the corner of a small room, so they probably wouldn't even get in on the stream.
Oh, you want to bring them in that room?
Yeah, bring them in. I reckon do it. Get it more crowded. That's
Yeah.
and then,
I won't do it.
Okay, all right.
I want to get into the relationship thing.
I think it'd be great because then they could lecture you about the cocaine probably better than I could. You know.
I'm gonna take a quick splash real quick. I'll be right back.
Sure.
I should grab. Where's my Book of Mormon? They gave me some like real good fucking scripture to read the other day, and it was like, this is like I was like read it, and I'm like, this is why I love the Book of Mormon and Mormonism, and it's like families, and they're like fighting for bloody to be good. They're just like the whole thing is just story. It's like the Bible, but if you should read the Book of Mormon, like I'm telling everyone they should read the Book of Mormon. It's just like I tell them it's like the Book of Narnia.
I do like Mormons as people, like the ones I've encountered. I don't know if you were in the Cub Scouts, but I went to a Cub Scouts that was at a Mormon facility, so they were all Mormons, and they were great. And yeah, I like the ones I encounter. Like they're friendly and. You know, they have good communities. Maybe they have too many wives. I don't know about that, but you know, they're.
It's what we need to become.
Look, what we observe
need to have a transcendent. We need like a transcendent meta. This is a thing like when when I first became a Proud Boy. I was like, Ryan, check this, right? When I first became a Proud Boy, I was like, we need to have a transcendent meta culture, right? That we can all adhere to, like Mormonism, but probably maybe more palatable. And that's like when Proud Boys became, I was like, yeah. This is like a meta culture that we could all simple ideas we could agree upon, right? But every meta culture needs a meta hero, right?
Right.
You can't have a meta culture without meta heroes. Like you need to be a heroic person who is a representative, like an ambassador of
ambassador, mascot, presidency, something.
Yeah. And that's when I was like, yo, this is it. And I was like, fuck, I am that. And I was like, bang. So, like, in my mind, I knew what, and maybe, you know, like I said, like, even from Narnia is enough for me to be like, this is the transcendent thoughts and ideas need to manifest into reality and become.
It carries the spiritual. It still carries the water of that spiritual notion that what you do matters and that there is a higher power. There's something you have to be subservient to, and it's okay
structure
to do that. Yeah,
but it's also voluntary because I think Christianity is voluntary.
Right.
I think the ideas of Genesis and the whole way through have been voluntary choices.
Most of the Bible is God reacting to the choices of man and how to, like a father-son thing, like how to discipline and how to show them the error of their ways and stuff like that, and provide some sort of repercussions. It's like, it's really interactive. It's really back and forth. And it's now gone to a point where kind of everything that could happen has happened. And we're seeing it in a weird way now because we have a lot of elements that didn't exist before, but it's basically the same thing. A lot of people ask why isn't the Bible being written still? It's because, like, it's all happened before. It's just...
But we are we are writing it. And that's what I mean about the transcendent becoming the meta culture or the meta hero. Like, how do you know you're not writing the Bible?
Right.
Like, how do you know we are not writing the Bible?
That's a great point. That's exactly the same point that people that feel like people of color that feel like they've been oppressed in the past is if they don't see the progress that this story in this history is still being written, that Martin Luther King is not where it ended. You know, slavery is not where it ended.
The British Empire is not ended. Like, the British are like Magna Carta, freedom, like starting freedom, like freedom started. Like, my belief system is like people, they were like Magna Carta, like, fuck you, we're not fighting for you. We want these rights as people to, and then we will fight for you. And the king's like, oh, fuck, my army's not going to fight for me. Okay, I'll give him these rights. It was the beginning of, like, and then I reckon as soon as we got the Magna Carta, God was like, these cunts are fucking waking up.
They're working.
Like, I think he was like, oh, this whole thing, I wanted this to happen. Like, I think he was like, I wanted people to tap into freedom and to tap into, like, empowerment of individuals who do the right thing, like, not through authoritarian means.
You know why? Because that restricts human beings' free will. Free will is the vessel in which God can determine whether or not you're a person that abides by the laws of, you know, righteousness or not. Because if you are, you know, strictly determined to follow a certain law of man, then you have no free will. God gave us free will to see if we're going to do the right thing, to see if we're not going to do the right thing. And so if a man-made structure, you know, tries to funnel us within one sort of way of life, that totally goes against the rules of God, which is you have free will. Show me if you are good. Show me if you will, you know, do the right things. Yeah.
And like good with freedom, like the good can only become manifest through freedom. Like, and like,
good is mandatory. It's not really good.
It's not. That's what the Middle East is. That's what communist China is. Like, even communist China, like they were like, we need to have cameras. Like China person's like, we need to have camera everywhere and a point-based system for everybody to this system. And you do this, throw rubbish on ground, naughty boy. Speeding fine, naughty boy. Drink drive, naughty boy. Drug, this, that. Speak bad for Kim Jong Bing Bong, naughty boy.
Dog bad. How do we do?
But that, and maybe it's like, oh, they watch live, D-Live. Dusty Bogan.
What were you going to say, Pose?
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, guys, I have to get going. I haven't eaten, and I've got a bunch of things I have to do today. So this was very unplanned, me coming on. So
Yeah.
I'll have to leave you guys to it. But
Hey, man.
but thanks for having
Good
me on,
talking to
Dusty.
you.
Yeah, but nice to meet you. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the stream. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Thanks,
Good
fella.
talking to you. Later, bro.
Bang.
Cool dude.
Or
Real cool dude.
we should see if Black Lives Matter will come on.
Is he still floating about?
He's still there.
Oh, wow.
And I know who it is
So,
too.
I wanted to get into the relationship thing real quick.
Yeah.
What's up?
No, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So recently on the show, Gavin was like, did you get laid this week? I'm like, no. He's like, that wasn't even my goal to do that, blah, blah. You should get a dating app. Now, my whole thoughts on dating apps, it's not that extensive, but it comes from a place of like just experience, which is that, you and I, we grew up in a time of what, AOL, and how old are you?
I'm 32.
Okay, we're the same age. Yeah, I'm 31. So
Yeah.
we grew up in the time of AOL Instant Messenger and shit like that, right? You get your away message. Remember that shit?
I would I don't know, I was always just I was hitting up every bird.
Oh, dude, yeah, I know.
I was a savage. I'd be buying a shirt, and I'd be like, yeah, and then fucking how about your number, or at the gym, or
Yeah.
getting food, or everywhere I was.
And
at,
when I
man,
was
it
buying the
just
shirt,
savage.
you'd hit on a girl. You'd hit on a girl while buying a shirt, and you're buying that shirt to impress another girl at school. It's like, dude, it consumed my brain, and it was to a point.
Cast a wide net.
Oh yeah,
this is a different era of, I don't know, now modern dating, guys who have all these tools to date are fucking
Right.
probably unaware. I don't know. I was a savage, bro. I was just
dude. It's always in person. Here's the thing.
I had a
is that-
biological disposition. I had a I was I had to find a wife. I had to find a woman, and I was just
I've always been a
I was
relationship
on the
guy,
grind.
and I've been in contact and encountered girls that I just fawned over, and then when it starts happening, don't feel right because we didn't put in the correct time. I wasn't being myself and shit like that. It's fucked up. Yeah. Now, I will never put myself in a situation ever again that leaves me where I don't feel like I'm being myself, because it's just not, you don't want to lay to a girl, even if you get there, right? Let's say you fuck her and you're laying right next to her afterwards, and now you have to perpetuate some dude that you aren't. So when it comes to dating apps and shit like that, I can't put myself out there. Let's say you and me texting. You and me tried emailing. That
if you're on a dating app, we're all gonna be like, "Yo, Ryan." It would just be some mad bombshell, and it would just be some cunt.
Yeah. Besides that deception, it's I can't put myself across. I'm pretty confident with myself. I think I'm pretty awesome. I can, just have I can make some fun happen there. If we're not vibing, fine. We're not vibing. We'll figure that out quick.
Yeah, you just be
but in
nice.
text,
just be a nice person.
See,
yeah, text is weird, dude.
I don't even do dating apps. Did you ever do dating apps?
I don't even do fucking Telegram and Facebook. I don't even. Me and my mates are I'm just yo, beers at mine 6 o'clock tomorrow.
Basically,
or on the weekend, and I'm just beep.
Yeah, I got a caveman use some info real quick. My house, beers, this time, bye. Right.
Yeah, and even it's but this is the trick, bro. Once you have a woman, they do that for you. The women, you have a woman, they have a woman, and then they're
they're great.
And then you're just you're thinking of having a beers on the weekend. Can you make that happen? And they're no worries. And they're
where do you think the idea of a secretary came from? It's literally a work wife, where it's all right, my wife handles all the shit. I need that at work. I literally need a wife type figure who cares about me. How do I get her to care about me? I know. I'll give her a position that's literally working right there for me. I can't organize my shit. I have all these creative bursts and they'll never follow through. I'll even put notes in my phone and reminders and I don't follow up on them because I'm my own boss and I'm a really
It's a lot of work to get shit happening.
Yeah. Like sometimes I'm a firm boss with myself, but most of the times I just let myself go. I'm just like, you could have a day off. It's not good. You know?
Yeah.
I don't have enough discipline.
It's like the dead set, bro. Like in 2000, my missus, she's like, you have a phone and Facebook. And I was like, fuck yeah. She gave me a phone and Facebook was on it. And I'm like, it says Facebook's been around for 2 years. It says my Facebook is 2 years old. And then I'm like, and I'm going into chats and I'm like, yo, boys, it's me. And they're like, we knew it wasn't you.
Wow.
Because you weren't swearing and misspelling.
Holy shit. Well, she kept that up for you for 2 years.
And I was just like, thanks heaps. And then as soon as I got my phone, I joined the Proud Boys and started this giant mess that I'm in now.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? It's basically just for having an ideal that literally wants to hurt 0 people and just better yourself. It's amazing. That's how you know you're on the right side of history. Persecution.
You need to get a woman, bro. You need to get a woman good.
Oh, trust me, dude. I mean, I've had women on I was in a 10-year relationship, like just
but you need
year.
do you know? Oh, so you're in New York. Go to Hillsong Church. Do you know
I know.
Hillsong?
Oh yeah. So I haven't ever met a girl at a church before, but no, you're absolutely right. Yeah, you know, I'm not worried about it right now. I'm doing
what?
No, but I know about it. I know the music. I know the. Yeah,
I went there when I was in New York.
Oh shit!
When I was in New York, I went to that church.
Huh?
And then, like, I converted a Muslim.
Whoa!
After it was so trip, bro. I went to the church. And that church has like church services like every hour and a half. Like,
oh Sunday. Really? I thought it was hard to get in there.
It probably is. It's like every Sunday from like 9 in the morning to like 9 at night. It's just like every hour and a half there's service after service, like thousands of people. And we went to the night service and then we went to dinner at like Hell's Kitchen. Went to some like bars and clubs and shit. And then I had like a Muslim cab driver. And then he was like, how do I become a Christian? Like, and I was like, fuck. But it was just like I converted some Muslim cunt through talking about, because I read the Quran. I've read the Quran a few times through like, dude, Hillsong Church is good as. That's where I met my missus.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
there's
cool.
Some
man.
like legitimate. I think there's like legitimate Christians there. And there's probably a high proportion of fuckheads too, obviously. Like
yeah. But the thing is, right now, I'm like, I've been just doing so much with like improvement and just like being like, can I be a complete vessel alone? What I'm bringing to a relationship, whenever the next relationship comes, is pretty major. I've always been lacking in a lot of ways. I've always been really selfish and stuff like that. And the funny thing about living
you go for like a 25-year-old or a 27-year-old.
Yeah, I definitely.
Maybe you should go for a 21-year-old. I don't know. Like, I've been with my missus for a long time. Right. They reckon 3 years
is the difference.
I mean, 3 years, they reckon is like, 3 years is you lose your sexual. There's like a sexual
detachment there.
Like, there's the central programming of your brain that gets the relationship going. That it's like 2 years, 3 years, and then after that, it's like literally it's all cultural, and you have to have like that's what a man is. Like, the man is a real man. Like, a boy will have the first 2 years a boy can handle, but a man has to be. You gotta have a ball sack. Like the balls are.
Like sexually?
I think it like your ball sack has to be testosterone and baby producing man. Like you got to be a man. Right. You got to be tough. Like you got to be.
That's what I'm thinking. The ball, like literally a baby producing ball bag, is like not only the ball bag itself, but the time. Like I don't want to have a 10-year-old while I'm 40 and I'm already late for that game. You know what I mean? Like if I'm 40 years old and I have a 10-year-old, that's not really great with me. But throughout my life, it's always been falling in love. I love you. I love you. I will have your baby. I could have had a baby with any one of my exes for sure. I could name them, but I won't because there's always something weird with that because we're public. If we were just chatting, I would tell you the names.
Yeah,
but for sure, could have had a baby with, and maybe it was a mistake not to sometimes, but I don't want to be a 40-year-old dad with a 10-year-old kid, because I feel like my energy is already waning down.
I mean, I'm going to be a 42-year-old with a 10-year-old kid.
But that's good. But I don't want to be any more than that. Like that. This is the cutoff. Yeah. 31 years old.
Happen, bro.
Gotta make it happen.
But as a man, you're a stud, bro.
I can make it happen. That's the thing. It's like, but I think I'm a little picky. But here's the thing:
intestinal fortitude. If you're like a man, if you can,
right?
You have.
But you know what's weird is that
you have to be a fucking. I don't know, man. Like I was raised by pathetic losers, so I just hate like a loser mentality. Like you just gotta. You're able to like attract a woman and keep her and.
Right.
I don't know about attraction. I don't know. I think it's like
attraction. Can I go on that real quick?
There needs to be some attraction, but
there's a big thing right there. Is because I've worked my ass off as a musician, doing art, shit that nobody requires of me. I've done a lot of shit to impress women. I've done, and I consider that, some of it's shameful because you're dressing for a woman, you're shaving your pubes for a woman. That's stuff that you're lit. Like how weird.
Do that for your wife.
Sure.
No, do it 10 years after 10 years of marriage, bro.
But
that's being a man. That's being a man, bro.
I agree. But when you were just doing this for somebody who hasn't necessarily, here's what I used to do. I used to fix myself up and stress out over girls that have not earned my attention, and I'm giving them all the attention back in high school. And that is a degrading process in itself because you're worried, like, I shaved my pubes, I got a shave bump. She's going to be worried about that. It's like, I just watched this clip the other day where it's this guy, it's called Love at First Kiss, and it's this chick. She's like, maybe I'll kiss him and be his boyfriend, be his girlfriend. And this guy's like, if I slip the tongue in, maybe I'll be her boyfriend or whatever. He walks in the.
Bro.
Have you seen this? Have you seen this clip?
Yeah, we have shit like that.
Oh my god! He walks in the room. He's like, "Hi," and she's like, "Hi." She's like, and the whole thing of this game show is like to just kiss and not say anything. But he goes in there. He's like, "Can I kiss you?" And she's like, "Yeah," like because that's what we're here for. He grabs her shoulders, kisses her on the cheek, through the hair, goes, and then hugs her. And the camera's on his face, and this is his face. He's like,
"Gay cunt."
And then he turns around and walks away. I'm like,
I don't know, but I've been with my missus for 13 years, and I'm like a fucking stalker. She's like, "Get away from me!" Like she's like, "I hate you," because I'm like a sexual predator. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me.
Well, that's the thing that I was getting to. It's like when you cater to somebody too much, it's so uncomfortable. It's almost like the way you and me are talking, or the way that even like Port seemed like a big fan of the show, but it came off as like, I'm just happy to talk to you because like I watch what you do. But there is a level that you get to of like fanaticism where it's uncomfortable for anybody. If I met the person that I love, musically. And I'm like, dude, you're my biggest hero. I wouldn't tell him that because it'd be very uncomfortable. Because what do you do with that? You're just like, oh, cool.
If I met like, I don't know, if I met like Sting, as in the wrestler.
Oh, the wrestler Sting.
Yeah, or Hollywood Hulk Hogan
hilarious.
or something. I
thought you meant the fucking singer.
Nah. Maybe Sting. Maybe like some Chris Jericho. I reckon Chris Jericho, we could have beers with Jericho, eh?
Yeah. Dude, I would do that if I met Benoit and Eddie Guerrero. Bro, Eddie Guerrero, they were so under. Kurt Angle,
yeah. He came back for a little bit.
Yeah, he's not the same, bro. And his arm was shrunk.
He was a fucking asshole, man.
Really?
Oh, I always remembered him as an asshole.
Oh, in WWF.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was a heel all the way.
He was a fuckhead.
All the way. He would come out with the fuck. I
hated him.
I thought it was the shit because he was cocky. That's why. Here's the thing. I never breach into cockiness, but I know for sure. That's
a powerful part of WWE. This is where I want to be like that.
Cocky?
I want to flip heel. I'm gonna flip heel one day.
I could never be heel. You know why? I can't maintain it. Here's my whole point with the women.
Chris Jericho is like an artist of like mega proportion. That cunt can flip heel, and
he flipped, bro.
He's amazing.
Remember when Stone Cold flipped or The Rock flipped, and you hated The Rock? You were like, "Fuck you, Rock."
You can't hate The Rock, and you can't hate Jericho.
The thing is, I did hate The Rock, but when he came out, I was like glued. I was like, I'm not gonna. If there was a commercial, I'd hold my piss. I'd be like,
I gotta piss my pants, bro. Are you gonna hold the fort?
Yeah, I could hold it.
You hold the fort.
So I'll pontificate a second, and then I'll just catch up like real brief, based on dating shit.
Yeah, just spew your guts out. Just take a shit on the screen. No, you're joking.
So my whole thing was that, in high school, I knew I was the small fish in the big pond or whatever the fuck. So it was like, you got to cater to what these girls want. What do they like? That's disgusting, and that's weird, and it's fake. And most of all, you can't keep it up. Even if you could nail it, let's say you actually pretend you're something you're not, and you actually nail it in. You actually get it done. And then afterwards, you're laying there uncomfortable because you're like, I got what I wanted, and now what? Now I'm just somebody fake. This was a thing I had to get over. This was a huge thing for me. And ever since then, when you just stop giving a fuck, maybe about like 23 years old, and you're just like, I'm really dedicated on myself and stuff like that, you don't need, this is my big thing, you don't need dating apps. You don't need dating apps. And you're going to be like, it's impossible. Where am I going to meet anybody? Even if I wanted to make a male friend, where am I going to meet anybody? A bar, the same old fucking joint that I go to, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, when you go on a dating app, what you're doing is you're spending a lot of time portraying yourself to somebody. Meanwhile, the things that you don't say in a conversation face-to-face are sometimes more important things, the things that you can craft in text messages. It's all going to come out. You're going to be revealed no matter what. And so you're just wasting time. You're just basically fighting off like, oh, I'm her. Even if you're trying to be yourself in text messages, it's all going to come away, and it doesn't really matter. Somebody could just hit you the right way via text. And then when you meet them, it all changes because there's flesh, blood, pheromones, the way that you pace your tone or your voice. And it's going to reveal itself anyway. So you're either wasting time or you get along with a chick who's on a dating app. And now what is she going to, she should delete it. If you guys start going steady, she should delete it. But what if she did? Now this is a girl who is willing to just throw herself out there. Women on a dating app do not belong. That's why, when I was growing up, a majority of the women that you would go on any sort of site where it's like guys and girls meet, it was all guys and like 3 girls, and they didn't want to do with any of it. They don't belong there. Girls on dating apps, they don't belong there. Is because it's too easy for them. You know what I mean? And that's when negging came up. Negging was a thing about 5 to 6 years ago. Where
Oi, Ryan, I'll show you how to open a beer. Go like this.
Way more.
And just twist it.
Oh, yeah, I could definitely do that. I don't have a bottle on me personally at the moment, but I could definitely do that.
It's harder than you think, but once you do it, like now it's
skin,
harder.
like,
It's
wraps
harder for me to open a beer with my hand. Like I open beers with my hands and I go, I can't open. I go to open a beer and I go, I can't open that. I can't open that beer. And then I open it with my arm and it's easier with my arm.
Jeez.
That's fucked, eh?
Because like the hand, like that's a perfect tool for like literally taking out. Isn't it weird how like look at the bottle?
Your forearm is.
Just hold up that bottle real quick, just so we can see the full bottle. Like hold it back towards you. Isn't that a nice shape and everything?
It's delicious.
It's
man made it from God. Someone
that is glass holding this liquid that makes you feel good with a little metal top. So it's glass, liquid, and a metal top. And it's designed for the human hand or arm.
Maybe it was designed for this live because no other fuckhead does it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But look at that shit. It just fits right in your hand. How did they figure out that is a great amount of beer, by the way? Because then, like, you could look down and be like,
it's delicious.
6 of these.
If you fall in love with beer, you're set for life.
I do like beer.
Life.
That's the thing. That's
love
why I
beer,
don't drink beer,
and you love
bro. Because if it's so accessible, that's my problem. Is that nothing is stopping me?
Yeah, but if you learn
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to drink,
but then if you learn to enjoy beer, and it's like deferral of gratification, right?
I hear you. I hear you.
It's like fast food, bro. It becomes like a powerful way to live. That's where I'm at, bro.
But it definitely changes.
And a woman too. And this is the thing, bro. I'm telling you, like you're talking about wanting to get a woman, right? I've found this new bogan ecosystem of life where I have like beer, fast food, and a woman, and it's like this triune. It's like the holy trinity of life.
Yeah,
and I have it in perfect proportion, so I'm not abusing any of it, and in perfect proportion, it's like
it does check.
It's kind of like perpetual. It's
yeah,
like cycle.
The woman says
like
the woman is the top of the triangle. Right?
She's the top, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so here it is.
God maybe transcendently constructed it all, like probably transcendently from heaven. He was like this. Look at him down there. He's doing pretty good. Enlighten him. And then transcendently.
Can I fact check your work real quick? Here's how this works. And it's perfect. And you're right. You got the woman on the top. She's that pinnacle. All right. Then you got beer, and then you got fast food, right? The woman says, not too much beer. She also says, not too much fast food. I don't want you to get like a fat cunt.
Yeah, because you're ripped. You're still...
Yeah. And then you can't eat fast food if you drink too much beer, but if you drink a certain amount, you're going to want some fast food. And if you eat too much fast food, you probably don't have room for a beer. So it's like that check.
And if you have enough beer, you want the woman too. So she knows it's like it always points back.
Exactly.
It's like,
yes. And if you're fucking a chick and you're hungry, you don't want to think about food while you're doing that. Because you're like,
if you have too much fast food, the woman has there's no point of having the woman.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just sitting there comatose, like I just had fucking a Big Mac. And
she should be cooking you that food anyway, but
Ooh.
Yeah. Fast food is like a part of her job is being consumed by fast food, you know?
That's absolutely true.
Beer has always been there. So beer's like maybe God gave us the woman, then the beer, and then we were like manifested like fast food to like we were like, yo, fast food, fuck yeah. You. Yeah, you need to get a woman butt, bro. Get on that dating website.
Hold on 1 second.
Or you should go get a razor and shave your chin hair off. And
I could do that literally right now.
You should. Just the mustache. That's what you should do.
I'm literally going to.
Fuck you. I'm on my phone too, cunt.
No, I'm sorry. I get.
It's all good. I got heaps of shit I gotta do on Telegram.
No. Here's the thing. I never shared the D Live link either, by the way. And I don't have D Live, but I'm looking at the
Yo, D Live's going good, and I've totally neglected it.
The tweets are actually going.
I've neglected the D Live, so I mean, whenever I have guests on, I know YouTube and D Live, they have to understand that I'm going to neglect it like fully, and that's kind of. It's like a terrible. I have like a way to. I need to update my system because every time I plug in a fucking, I don't know what they call it, USB port.
Nintendo.
If I plug a USB port, either my second screen drops out or my mic drops out, and it's probably because I have an old laptop. But we make do. We do what we got to do.
We got to get you a new laptop.
Yeah. Go get a fucking Gillette razor, bro. Because, like, you should... Isn't the Gillette ad, like, to be a man or something? The best a man could get?
Well, here's the thing. America is really quirky with their slogans, and of course they're going to say it's the best a man can get. I found myself... Now, I'm not doing a plug, but Dollar Shave Club.
Oh, Dollar Shave Club, yeah.
I've been with them for a while.
I've heard of that.
It really does solve a problem. It cuts out a couple extra bucks, and like it fucking they deliver it to your door. Like I don't want to go. I always forget razors. I always forget shit.
Yeah. And like because I'm the biggest bogan on earth, so I bought like cutters to cut my own hair, right? And I haven't. I've only had my hair cut professionally once in like the last 10 years. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, once in the last 10 years. I could probably stretch it out to 13 years, and you're
the one cutting literally all your hair.
Yeah.
That's weird. You have one,
oh no. So she'll cut the like the back end of my hair. I'll be like, generally, like what happens is I cut my face and hair, and then she goes like, she'd be like, "You look like a fucking idiot," and then I'll be like, "What? You're supposed to help me with this," and she'd be like. "Okay, I'll fix your hair." You know what I mean?
Fixes it after you ruin it.
Yeah. Fucking oath.
How do I get one of those hats?
I'll send you one.
Isn't it like a $20 shipping fee?
Maybe.
All right. Well, just extend your PayPal and I'll cover it.
Fucking oath. Do you want to wrap it up, Ryan? Are you done for the night? Have we fucking extracted as much?
Yeah, the sun is coming up. I mean, I did do a little bumperooski, but
Yeah, all good, bro. Sweet.
it's been real, dude. This has been real cool. I like your friend Port. I like you. You're a great guy. This has been some great talks. I mean, what did we not cover? I mean, we covered relationships.
I don't know. It's 7:30 at night,
Politics.
so like Australia, we're just fucking ratcheting
Just
it
getting
up.
started. Yeah.
But you're like,
sure.
what's the time in the morning there?
It's 5:30 in the morning.
Fuck. And so we started 3 hours ago. Damn, we have to give you like major props.
It's all right.
And like so much fucking that was good as, bro.
Yeah, dude, it was fun.
And when I like when I come on censored TV or whatever, it'll probably be like in the 2 a.m, and I'll be like,
I know.
I'll be like, I'll crack a beer and I'll be like, oh, I'm
we would literally be even.
double a fuckhead.
We'd literally be even at that point.
Oh, we'll be even, yeah.
If we hit you up at 12 noon, that'll be 2 o'clock in the morning. 2 in the morning for you.
Yeah, it'll be the same.
Sure.
And I'll just be necking beers the whole time. I'll be like,
What day are you off?
huh?
What days are you off work?
I'm off on the weekend. I can have any time off now because bad AIDS has fucked the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Communist virus has fucked everything.
either we're gonna talk to you. You know what? I think this Thursday we could expect to have a Skype conversation with you.
Yeah.
This Thursday.
Sweet.
All right. I'm gonna try to make that happen because we've been meaning to talk to you this week.
All right. Well, we'll drop off air. We can maybe chat off air for 10 minutes because I know you're fucking tired and shit.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Fuck you, cunts.
Can I plug?
Yeah, you can plug.
I'm at Ryan Katsu Rivera on Instagram and at Asian Pat Dixon on Twitter and at Ryan Katsu Rivera on Parler. That's it.
Fuck yeah.
I got a YouTube.
That's good as gold. All right. What I should have done or should do. Fuck. Let me do my outro song because I think I like. This is the way my channel rolls, so it's out. It's fucking terrible. Let me have a look.
By the way,
I didn't plan on this. I've had a few beers too.
I looked at the what you sent. It's a huge improvement. That's fucking rules.
Really?
Yeah.
Sick, dude.
Yeah, and the pace of it too was like great.
Okay.
I was gonna say that.
I was
give away too much.
I feel like I've done it a few times, so
yeah,
I've kind of like devalued my initial interest in it to like keep redoing the same thing, so to make it better. So
that came across because it's like way more comfortable. It's just like fucking, let's just go. That's how.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, because I really felt uncomfortable doing my studio side of things.
Yeah, no. It looked like you had like 100% like confidence that you're like, yep, can't wait to fucking show you this shit. We're just gonna go in, go out, pop. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was real. I felt like I felt unnatural. Like when I do my lives, I don't know. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And that was just weird. It felt weird.
Yeah, doing shit alone fucking reeks. I can't. Like I suck at talking to a mic alone. So with the live, I can understand you got people there and you're like delivering.
What the fuck is this?
What the fuck is it?
Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that yet. Okay. I'll have to let me fucking I'll fuck this whole thing up.
Oh.
Don't worry, the whole world loves my shit. I can't even fucking. All right,
What?
Ryan Casimera.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. This has been real.
And, yeah. So fuck yeah.
This went smooth as shit. The conversation was fucking awesome. Literally no tech problems whatsoever. You're in a different place in the world that's literally, 14 hours ahead in the future? This was smooth as shit.
Beers daily. You actually got to experience a beer bong permanently strapped to someone's wall.
I could get that shit fixed up next time we talk.
You should.
Glad
I think like most Western chauvinists and like people who are going to be the future of the planet of Earth.
Yeah.
You know, because when you get a woman and you make babies and you're bored into the future and shit,
yeah,
you'll be beer bonging every day.
Dude, you know what's funny? Is that some people would consider that unprofessional to have a beer bong hung on your wall. I argue the opposite. It's actually the most professional because it's the quickest way to induce conversation starting liquids into your body. It gives you confidence. Yeah. It makes you fucking think weirder and awesomer. So you just got to right on the wall. Just got to press a button. Just like, I'm back. And it limits the time.
Generally, if people donate money, I'll rip a beer bong. So
good point.
The more money I get, the more beer bongs I drink. So
we will pump this up next time. I didn't get a lot of time to share the link, but next time I will do it. I'm subscribed to you now. I just got to go live, and then I'm going to subscribe to you there.
I completely fucked up doing my shit. I'm too fucking maggot. Anyway, God bless. Fuck you, D Live. And I know you gave me heaps of lemons. And I won't even open the treasure chest. I'm going to keep all the treasure chests tonight. And fuck you, YouTube. Fuck yeah.